It's going to be a soggy evening in Florence, Kentucky, where tonight at UC Health Stadium we welcome the Lexington Legends for a weekend series where they'll square off with Dennis Pelfrey's Florence Freedom. Hi folks, glad you could join us. Aaron Brody here, Paul Frischner there. We did not plan to match today, but that's just what happened. So we both look phenomenal in our new Y'all's polo. Nice cheesy grin there from Paul as well.
More of a team.
We look uniform for the first time in 3 years as partners. But no, it was a great series that just wrapped up over the middle of the week. It was the Florence Y'alls who laid waste to the Legends, taking all 3 games in the midweek series. And the Lexington Legends, we've talked about it on and on, but until something different happens, it's still a big-time talking point. Lexington looking for their first win here at UC Health Stadium in Florence for the entirety of the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. Will they get it tonight facing Dennis Pelfrey's Freedom team, who enters at 16-5, the top team in the standings that don't really matter?
It's going to be a tall task looking at this Florence Freedom lineup that has just put up so many runs over the last few weeks. This team is clicking, and from the very top, Craig Massey, all the way down to the bottom, Marshall Rich in the 9-hole getting a spot in the lineup tonight behind the plate. But 1 through 9, this lineup is just so good for this Florence Freedom team. And then on the mound, Yanniker Villalobos, we've seen him pitch very well here at home. And Lexington, it's going to be a tall task. Now, we saw them come very close last night, got within a run, but couldn't get over the mountaintop. Still, Lexington teams with only 1 win, but as you said, Aaron, the Legends without a win here in Florence.
Yeah, it's really been something. They played a lot of pretty good games as well, but whatever Florence team was here just always made the next best play and ultimately would win the ball game. So you mentioned the starter tonight, the lefty Yanniker Villalobos, the former Batavia Muck Dog, who's now a free agent, but a guy that we all expect will be signing another affiliated contract soon. Just 21 years of age, 3-0 on the season with an ERA at 2.55. The last time we saw Yanniker was last Friday here at UC Health Stadium when the Y'alls were taking on the Freedom, and he wanted the ball against Dennis Pelfrey's Freedom. Despite all the accolades in that gauntlet of a 1 through 9 in their batting order, he wanted to oppose them, and boy, was he rock solid that night. Allowed just 1 run. It was a 10-1 victory for the Y'alls that night. They need more of that confidence on the mound, but this time Dennis Pelfrey gets to see Yanniker throw for him. Yeah,
2 ERA is phenomenal, but when you compare it to guys like we saw last night or Nick Bennett, you know, this pitching staff, Aaron, it's just incredible. And Villalobos going out there tonight, what can we see out of him? We've seen him mix his pitches up. We've seen him perform well on the mound, as you said last week. Rose to the challenge, accepted that challenge, went out there, pitched very well. Now, can he repeat that again a week later against some different talent from Lexington?
So it was Yanniker Villalobos versus Edgar Martinez in that game we talked about last Friday. Tonight, it'll be those two carrying the load for the Freedom on the bump in this 9-inning game with the Lexington Legends. We are going to have to battle through some threats of rain all night. We got some clear skies right now, but for how long is the question. We've talked about it on and on so far this season. We've only had 1 rain delay. It was all of about 1.5 minutes, but forecast doesn't look too pretty for this one tonight.
Well, no, it does not, and I think we have a streak in jeopardy. I still have yet to sit through a rain delay because even that one earlier this year I wasn't at, and 2 years ago we didn't have one. Last year I didn't see one, so a streak is in jeopardy tonight. There is a lot of rain in the forecast starting at around 8 p.m. until about 11. So hopefully things can subside. Again, this is a turf field, so if it's just rain, then we might be okay. But you know, depending on what kind of lightning is in the area or whatever that case may be, we'll let that all play out as the night goes along. But that is something to keep an eye on, because for the pitchers in this game, if you do play through the rain, the ball becomes slippery. Maybe in the field the play becomes a lot more sloppy because, too, the other thing to remember defensively, Aaron, is playing on a turf field, when the field becomes slick, that ball, instead of taking higher hops off the ground, it skims lower across the turf, and that's something tough that the defenders will have to adjust to.
We're closing in on first pitch. They're ready for the national anthem, so we're going to take you back to the field cam, and we'll be right back with starting lineups and first pitch for the Freedom and the Legends at UC Health Stadium.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the pale
time, Freedom and Legends in Game 1 of a weekend series here at UC Health Stadium, where tonight we will battle the threat of rain all evening long. Aaron Brody and Paul Fritchner with you as the lefty Yannicker Villalobos starts his warm-up tosses. So let's take a quick look at the men he will face tonight in the lineup for the Lexington Legends.
The same 1-2 as last night, Aaron. Eric Young Jr. and Ivan DeJesus Jr., designated hitter and second baseman, starting off at the top. He goes down into the cleanup spot. He's playing center field. Batting fifth, Dalton Cornett behind the plate. John Sansone again in the lineup tonight. He's at the hot corner batting sixth. And Devin Hairston, the speed demon, down in the 9-hole.
The defensive look for the Florence Freedom behind their lefty Villalobos tonight, starting with the outfield from left to right, Cesar Trejo, Austin Riggins, and A.J. Bumpus. Dynamic double play duo up the middle, Tyler Fitzgerald, the Giants prospect, and another one at second base, and Simon Whiteman. Chad Sedio at the hot corner, Logan Wyatt on the other edge of the infield, and Marshall Rich doing the catching behind the plate. Calling the balls and strikes in this game will be Nick Saxton. His partner on the bases, Dave Blanchett. With that, Eric Young Jr. makes his way to the batter's box. EY, DeJesus, and Akins, the do-up trio, to face the confident lefty Yannicker Villalobos, who enters with a 3-0 record and an earned run average at an impressive 2.55. This will just be the third start of the season for Villalobos, who made his debut in the Battle of the Bourbon Trail and really his first 2 appearances in relief. There's an issue with the bullpen gate out in left field, so they'll have to wait to get that closed before we can throw out the game's first pitch, but they get it closed. And Yannicker Villalobos ready to rock. Freedom in their pearly home white uniforms, the Legends in the blue tops with gray pants. A couple of shakes from the lefty, now he rocks into the windup, and the game's first pitch, a fastball for a called strike. And we are underway right on time at 7:05. Here comes the lefty's 0-1. Fastball sailed wide. Got the radar gun fired up and working again tonight at UC Health Stadium, so we'll have some velocities to report. Always makes it more exciting when the arms come in the bullpen to see what they're pumping. The 1-1. That's a low strike awarded. And a late call from Nick Saxton behind the plate, but 1-2 will be the count.
We've seen Saxton once or twice this season, the same sort of a expanded zone.
Pitcher friendly. The 1-2. A swing and a foul ball. That one at 90 on the gun as Villalobos loosens up the wing.
A larger zone than Dave Blanchett's on the bases.
Ruthless on the umpiring, Paul.
His strike zone might be 2 baseballs wide.
Another 1-2 is going to be fouled away towards the Maker's Mark party patio.
But the one thing I always say is if it's going to be tight like that, at least keep it consistent, and it is.
You do always say that.
On both sides, yeah. Can't knock the guy. He just doesn't like calling a lot of strikes.
Another 1-2 will miss out. Best velo of the night for Villalobos, who has gotten a little bit more hot with the fastball with each one he's thrown. 89, 90, and 91. The 2-2 on the way. Hard ground ball up the middle. Sliding play at second by Whiteman on the backhand. He's up with it and on to first in time. Nifty glove work by the Giants prospect Whiteman, and there's one out.
Well, last night, Aaron, I guaranteed strong hitting from Florence, and it took them one trip through the order to snag a hit, and we'll see what Florence is able to put up here tonight once they come to the plate in the bottom half of this inning. It's the Freedom's turn tonight to put up some crooked numbers.
Ivan DeJesus Jr. in the box, and his first pitch down and away for ball 1. Ivan's made a lot of strong contact in this series and hasn't had a whole lot to show for it, but he has barreled up quite a few. Just had one single last night. Here's a hot ground ball that's going to have eyes and roll into left field for a base hit. So right on cue, DeJesus does find a hole, and he'll be at first for Nick Akins. What a night this guy had last night. In an 8-7 game, the Y'alls won to clinch their midweek series sweep. Aikens had all 7 RBIs, a 2-homer night, a sacrifice fly sprinkled in there, and an RBI single, but his homers got him 5 RBIs, a 2-run shot in the first and a 3-run banger in the 7th. Got to be careful with him. First pitch. Looked good, was good, and a called strike.
The thing was, in that first inning, he hit a home run promptly after a Florence error that would have ended that first inning, making the Y'alls pay for that mistake.
Villalobos now working from the stretch with the man at first. Sets out in front of the chest, hikes the leg, and the 0-1 pitch will be fouled off. Tremendous differential from Villalobos on the off speed to the fastball. I told you his heater's been at 91 tonight, his best velo, and that breaking ball at 73. That is a tough adjustment for any hitter. Lefty's way ahead, 0-2. Rich is going to set up in. Long pause from the set, now the 0-2 outside. A ball and 2 strikes to Nick Aikens. Aikens played his college ball at Vanguard University of Southern California. He's a Los Angeles native. And it was his hometown team, the Dodgers, who drafted him. Breaking ball fouled back to the screen. Aikens showing fight and stays alive, but Villalobos has gotten ahead of every hitter and has lived comfortably in 0-2 and 1-2 counts here in the early goings. Yoniker has his pitch, and he'll throw to first. Checking on Ivan DeJesus, who was back without a slide.
Aaron, what are you looking for out of Florence tonight?
You know, they've been away for so long, but something tells me they can still swing it pretty good from looking at their stats. And this guy, Villalobos, will keep the Legends down, I would think. Breaking ball, Nubber towards first base, played on a backhand by Wyatt. He'll go to second, and they'll get the lead runner there for out number 2. Aikens will swap spots with DeJesus and bring up Matt Winokur with the Legends down to their final out in the top of the first. It's been a while since we've done it, so I look forward to kind of rolling through the Freedom batting orders at some point tonight, reminding you just how well they've really all swung it here in the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. It's quite remarkable to update the stats and see, oh, Massey still hitting 500. 2 weeks of season left. Right around anyway. Upper 4s. First pitch to Winokur.
Well, there was some decision or discussion, I should say, in the major leagues on whether anybody in this shortened season was potentially going to hit 400, and then would they have to count that? But I don't think anybody right now is on pace to break that threshold.
Villalobos got ahead 0-1. Now his second offering. Breaking ball, same spot, same call. And it's quickly 0-2 on Winokur. Yeah, that was one thing that I was keeping my eye on, was what really treasured baseball record was going to be broken in a shortened season. That would have all sorts of baseball fans crying out, upset and anguished. Villalobos is 0-2. Breaking ball, hit well into center field, twisting towards left center. But it's going to be playable for Austin Riggins, and he's there, putting it in his back pocket for out number 3. So Yoniker Villalobos will face 1 over the minimum in a scoreless top of the first and bring that hot Freedom team to the plate in the bottom in a scoreless game. You're listening to Florence Freedom Baseball on the Freedom Broadcasting Network.
Cunningham, the Great American for the Roar Insurance Agencies. Over the last many years, Alvin Roar at Roar Insurance Agency has handled all my personal and business needs. They are a large and growing national insurance business located right here in Greater Cincinnati. Call the Roar Agency today at 513-985-4200 or go to roarins.com. Call Alvin Roar. Call the Roar Agency today.
At Gentle Touch Grooming, your pet is treated with care and will look beautiful. Give your dog or cat the spa day they need. Gentle Touch offers spa baths, deluxe spa baths, full haircuts, and nail trimmings. Book an appointment today at 859-283-1373. That's 859-283-1373. Gentle Touch will even offer 10% off just for mentioning this ad. They want to see those.
I know personally how important sports are to our kids. That's why we've been working hard to make it easier for them to play. I invite you to come into our stores or shop at shoes. And we've got the hottest clubs in golf like the Callaway Epic Flash and TaylorMade M5 and M6. Stop into Dick's today to see all of the great changes we've made.
Bottom one, and let's roll through quickly the Florence Freedom batting order. Craig Massey to lead things off. Simon Whiteman in the 2-hole. Chad Sedio, Logan Wyatt, Tyler Fitzgerald, the vaunted 3-4-5. A.J. Bumpus, Cesar Trejo are hitting 6 and 7. Austin Riggins will bat 8th, and Marshall Rich will turn the lineup over in the 9-hole. Aaron Brody and Paul Fritzner with you as Cass Silber, the right-hander, finishes his final warm-up toss. Yannicker Villalobos worked fairly quickly in that first frame, got ahead of every hitter, yielded just an Ivan DeJesus Jr. single, but was able to minimize that, retiring the next 2 batters in order. So in steps Craig Massey to face the righty Silber. We look for the first run of the game here in the first. First pitch on the way. A good one. Looked like a fastball that caught the inner half for a called strike to Massey. His count will be 0-1. Right back to work is the righty. 0-1, throw in the hands, little flare, shallow in left field. Racing out from short to make the running catch is Devin Hairston. And Massey retired P6 for out number 1. Simon Whiteman bats second. Would not be surprised to see this guy lay down a bunt. Flat out flies around the bases. First pitch in there for a called strike. Silber sitting in the upper 80s with the fastball here in the early goings. That one at 87, now the 0-1. Up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just the 8th game for Simon Whiteman, who was a late addition to Dennis Pelfrey's Freedom roster. A couple of weeks ago, the 1-1 outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hitting .269 on the year. 4 singles, 1 double, and 1 triple. Also has a homer. He's a late on this fastball. And his count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 down and away with the slide piece. And Whiteman's worked it full. And I'll tell you, for already having seen 5 pitches in this at bat, Silber is working very quickly.
Yeah, he is. And look, he's already set to go.
Payoff on the way. Fouled straight back. We'll do it again.
Won't complain about the pace.
No, both pitchers would be wise to pitch with a quick tempo given the forecast.
Oh, yeah.
Around Florence tonight. Another 3-2. Down and in. And a good at bat for Simon Whiteman. He'll work a walk and bring Chad Sedio to the plate with a man at first and 1 dead. Chad Sedio's got a good sense of humor, but the funniest thing about him are his numbers. Hitting .369, but the funny part, I'll save for after the first offering from Silber. It's a statistical anomaly if there ever was one. So we're wide open from the set. Offers home. Whiteman takes off for second. What a great jump and a stolen base. No throw even attempted from behind the plate by Dalton Cornett. Whiteman had that one stolen on the pitcher. Result of the pitch was down and in for ball one. But the staggering stat on Setio is he has as many homers as singles and doubles this season. He's got 10 of all three. The 1-0, hard ground ball, but foul pass first to even the count at 1-1. You know, if you heard a guy had the same amount of homers as singles, you'd probably think he just had a terrible batting average and maybe a couple of each, one of each. But Setio hitting .369. This is his 22nd game. He stepped into the box 103 times. Has homered 10 times, singled 10 times, doubled 10 times. It's incredible. Breaking ball, back foot variety, and downstairs for ball two. Righty rocks to the set. And the 2-1. Down and away. 3 balls and a strike to Setio, and you've got to be very careful what you come with here. Tremendous hitter sitting dead red on a fastball in this count.
Got to throw a quality strike. Don't want to lay it up right down the middle.
Pitch on the way. Went inside, got a Setio swing and miss. May have been ball 4. Setio likes the pitches in. It was the fastball. He just mistimed it.
On 3-1, you're looking for one pitch in one spot. And like you said, that's a pitch he likes. Just couldn't get out in front of it enough to barrel it up.
Another payoff pitch coming from Silber. Fouled off the foot.
Well, if nothing else, even if Florence is unable to score Whiteman from second in this inning, still 2 outs to do it with, but they're really making Cass Silber work. He's already up to 15 pitches.
Setio blasted his 10th home run of the season just yesterday in Lexington. 3-2 pitch, fastball lifted in the air into left field. Looks like it's going to stay on the field of play for Nick Akins, who's closing in on that wall and foul ground, but he'll make the catch to retire Setio for out number 2. We'll see if Logan Wyatt can cash in with the game's first run in scoring position. And the Freedom needing a base knock to scratch him across. Still waiting on the Wyatt breakout. Top 20 prospect in the Giants organization, sitting just 222 in the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. First pitch is at the shoe top, squirting under the 5-hole, and Whiteman will be obliged to take third. Another swipe of a bag without so much as a throw to the base as Whiteman read the dirt ball and got there easily. Wyatt working in a 1-0 count. Silber deals. Good breaking ball and a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to the mammoth Logan Wyatt. The 1-1 pitch. Hot shot fouled straight back. Wyatt down to his last strike. Like Whiteman, just Wyatt's 8th game. They entered Dennis Pelfrey's starting lineup together. 1-2 pitch. A chopper foul pass first. So we're back into his windup, more comfortable. Working from the windup with the man at third base and the 1-2. Pretty close, but outside. Deuce is all over the board in the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless as we stand. But that could change. Simon Whiteman just 90 feet away. And less than that, off to a walking lead at third base. with John Sansone playing almost in the hole at short. 2-2, down and away. Another full count. Silber works quick, but all of his at-bats have been long. He's thrown a lot of pitches here in his first frame.
They're already up to 22.
Payoff. Back foot, breaking ball and a beauty. Wyatt swung through it, and he's down on strikes. And the Legends will strand the go-ahead run at third as we go to the second. 0-0 at UC Health Stadium. You're listening to Florence Freedom Baseball on the Freedom Broadcasting Network.
Who did the Florence Freedom turn to when it was time to upgrade their scoreboard? Atlantic Sign Company. Through their branding expertise, innovation, and passion, Atlantic Sign Company will help you identify your business to your customers in a way that will exceed your expectations. From concept to the completion, their team will be with you every step of the way. Your sign represents you, your company, and your brand. So go where the Florence Freedom went for their scoreboard. Atlantic Sign Company.
Have you ever wondered what heaven tastes like? Today at the ballpark, we are giving you the opportunity to do just that. To delight your taste buds, we present Curd Town deep-fried cheese curds. These golden crispy morsels, with their gooey cheesy center, are the tasty treat that have all of the angels singing. After trying our delicious cheese curds, we can't promise you a halo, but we do guarantee a joyful stomach and a cheesy smile.
Construction products and services across the United States and abroad. Using cold-formed steel, we manufacture innovative products for interior framing and finishing, exterior framing, floor and roof framing, as well as clips, connectors, metal lath, barrier mesh, and accessories. For more information, visit our website at www.clarkdietrich.com.
On to the top of the second of a scoreless game at UC Health Stadium. We got a surprise guest in the booth with us tonight, the manager of the Florence Yalls, who just finished off a midweek series sweep of these Lexington Legends, will be with us for the second and third innings tonight of this opener between the Freedom and Legends in Florence. Yannicker Villalobos back out, missing outside on a first pitch breaking ball to Dalton Cornett, the Legends catcher. It'll be 1-0, and Yannicker's right back to work into the windup. And he'll miss in this time with a fastball. So we'll introduce you to B. White here. Bring you quickly into the broadcast booth. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. First year Florence Yalls field manager and off to a great start in the role. 2-0 pitch, spoiled foul and out of play. So first things first, B. White, just appreciate you taking the time to come on the broadcast. You did have a game scheduled tonight, but dirt field, actual grass, rained out in Lexington.
Yeah, I was worried about that whenever I woke up this morning. First thing I did was check the weather. You have those two hurricanes coming in, you know. So
yeah,
he was going to come down eventually, just didn't know when. And then got a text around 3 o'clock, 2:45. They banged it, so we'll be over there tomorrow.
Over there tomorrow, and
yeah.
Jonathan Tripp was supposed to start tonight. What's kind of the plan with Tripp?
Correct. So he threw a bullpen today, just a nice little touch. He's going to go on Sunday, I think, for the Freedom over here. So we'll check out what the pitching situation looks like after this game and what they have as far as their bullpen, what they've used, and we'll kind of revamp and see what we got.
Dalton Cornett popping out in foul ground to Chad Cedillo at third base for the first out in the top of the second. But yeah, you'll always find a way to squeeze a Jonathan Tripp into a start or into an appearance. That's a guy that I'm sure Dennis is very happy to see fall in his lap this weekend.
Yeah, isn't he lucky? I swear he always gets those breaks. Unreal.
New hitters John Sansone. First pitch swing and a fastball is fouled straight back to the screen. So how are you enjoying the Battle of the Bourbon Trail so far? It's felt like it's been a lot of fun. Obviously the Florence teams have cruised, and you've talked about it in the game report, but kind of your thoughts on this exercise.
Man, it's been awesome, to be honest. Really kind of, as far as all things considered, you know, you don't wish anything bad on anybody, but it's a blessing in disguise for what we're able to do with the baseball situation. As bad of a disaster it was at first, not knowing when we're going to get to play, if we get to play at all. Then we get to put this together. Then you see all these guys coming together from different organizations, different levels of baseball. You get to see them play together, and it brings out the best in some of these guys, you know, that you probably wouldn't actually get to see on paper.
No doubt. Fastball was upstairs for ball 2 to Sansone. He's in an even 2-2 count with Villalobos. And this lefty, he's sharp.
Oh, Magic Man, you know.
He is.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch in this staff. He's exciting every time out. He's consistent. And he's young. It's crazy how good he is and how much potential he has in there.
Just got his first strikeout of the game. Lays waste to John Sansone for out number 2.
And breaking ball do it to you. The velo difference is pretty drastic from his fastball, and it's a sharp late bite to it.
He'll square off with Nick King now and get ahead again. Another foul ball and an 0-1 start. But you got to love the tempo, works quick.
Absolutely.
Has a presence.
The presence is very strong with him. Then you see his ability to go back and forth on both sides of the plate with both pitches. You know, to drop that changeup in there eventually too.
Another
He's laid on the
foul
fastball twice right here. We either bust him inside or maybe a back foot breaking ball. I wouldn't throw him anything over the plate right here though.
That's just
by
been
any means.
It's just been amazing about tonight. He's gotten ahead of virtually everybody, 0-2, 1-2, and he's been able to pick his pitch all start.
Absolutely. He's coming in right here. Let's see if he's late or if he's on time.
Little trick maybe up his sleeve here. We'll see. The lefty rocks into the windup, 0-2. Was the fastball going the other way on a line, but foul.
He knows what he's doing up there. He knows what he's doing. He's been around for a little while. He's good. He's good.
Well, we're already learning something. I would have thought he just wanted a new baseball, wouldn't have put 2 and 2 together, but you're right, setting up the hitter, always thinking ahead. So now maybe it's the back foot breaking ball.
Yeah, you can do anything you want right here. As long as you're working in, there you go right there.
He went to the 90-mile-an-hour fastball and froze him. Caught him looking. A 1-2-3 inning for Yanniker Villalobos. Quick work of the Legends in the second. And here come the Freedom bottom 2. Still scoreless at UC Health Stadium on the Freedom Broadcasting Network.
Can't carry a bowling ball in a plastic bag. Can't rub plastic bags together to make fire. Can't turn them into swim trunks. And you can't put plastic bags in your Rumpke recycling container. Visit Rumpke.com for recycling do's and don'ts. Learn more at Rumpke.com.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
Hey Freedom fans, let's play a game of Did You Know, courtesy of Life Center. Did you know organ and tissue donation is life-saving and life-changing for thousands of people? How about that more than 600 people in Greater Cincinnati are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant? You can change someone's life with a simple yes when you go to renew your driver's license or state ID. Say yes and register to be a donor. Visit lifepassedon.org for more information or to register online. Life, pass it on.
Florence Freedom fans, Walt Kelsey here for Kelsey Chevrolet on Route 50 in Lawrenceburg. Proud sponsor of your Florence Freedom. We're just 15 minutes from Florence. Take 275 west to the Lawrenceburg exit. We can handle all your automotive needs. Sales, service, parts, and body shop. We are family owned and operated, and we offer a fresh approach. We'll treat you like family. Find new roads at kelseychev.com.
We are Kelsey Chevrolet, from our family to yours.
Back to the action in Florence, Kentucky. Tyler Fitzgerald in the box and ahead in the count 1-0 as Cass Silber misses inside with a fastball. Aaron Brody and the great Brian White with you from UC Health Stadium for the next couple of innings. 1-0 pitch fouled off to even the count at 1-1. Silber allowed a walk in the first inning, pitched around it, and will face Fitzgerald, Bumpus, and Trejo in this lineup that does not let up. Here in inning number 2, the 1-1 pitch to Fitzgerald, fought off and fouled off. I know you kind of like to still take a look and evaluate, Brian, what guys Dennis has on his roster. What's kind of your evaluation of this guy, Fitzgerald? I know the Giants absolutely love him.
Yeah, he's a smart kid, very smart kid, knows how to play the game. You know, whenever he is here, he's not here the 6 or 5 days a week that most of these guys are. He's having to commute, so he's only here typically on the weekends. So get a little bit of a look at him, but whenever he's here, you know, he has that right mentality. He's able to go day to day and not let anything linger over. So he has a big league mentality in him.
Did chase a bad breaking ball there. Strikeouts out number 1 and brings up A.J. Bumpus, who is a man possessed offensively of late.
He's electric in that box, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
Breaking ball starts him 1-0. It was down low.
They have him in the 6 hole. Sheesh.
A wealth of riches. The 1-0's up and out for ball 2. We were able to see the contact and the speed from Bumpus early in the season, but now it's the power and just hitting to all fields. Up to 3 homers on the season.
And he stays so calm.
Speaking of, a line drive to the opposite field and a base hit. Bumpus will have a single. And he might be the best guy I've seen in the batting order, just spraying the ball to all parts of the park, not trying to do too much, going with the pitch.
And he doesn't just do that right there. He's able to drive the ball over the left field fence at ease. It's impressive, the power that he has to all fields. You don't see that too often with these players.
He's already showcased it once here in Florence. Opposite field homer off the scoreboard a couple weeks ago. It was his first of the season, but now you look up, he's got 3. Homered, I believe, just yesterday in Lexington. His well-struck single will bring up Cesar Trejo. Another very talented hitter and a former prospect in the Seattle Mariners organization. Was with the West Virginia Power last season. Guy who's a current free agent, but will certainly have a home in pro baseball somewhere in 2021.
This kid can swing it, can he?
Yeah, everything's barrel. First pitch, called strike, maybe a pitcher's strike for an 0-1 start. Silber gets the sign and will pick to first, check on Bumpus, who was only about a step and a half off the base, but scouting reports out, B. White. Everybody knows when you're playing Florence, guys on base, front row seat of it, or to it for the last 4 years. 0-1 pitch, hard ground ball, but right to Harrison at short. He'll go to second for 1. Quick turn will be in time. And a pitcher's best friend, 6-4-3 double play. And that'll do it for the Freedom in the second. So we will quickly move to inning number 3. B. White's going to stay on, but I'm going to hand the reins of the play-by-play over to Paul Fritchner for the third scoreless game at UC Health Stadium on the Freedom Broadcasting Network.
Chris Collinsworth here. Western and Southern can help you translate your financial needs. Start with a free, no-obligation insurance checkup. It doesn't take long, and it's a great way to find out how to protect your family's future. Talk to a financial translator today.
Call our Northern Kentucky office at 859-426-3300. That's 859-426-3300 for your free, no-obligation review.
Compensated endorser, Western and Southern Financial Group, Cincinnati, Ohio, R5-1307.
BRG is locally owned and operated, so we take pride in our community you choose to call home. With spacious floor plans, neighborhoods that complement your lifestyle, pet-friendly communities, 24-hour emergency maintenance, the amenities are endless. Come home to BRG Apartments. With communities located in Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio, as well as in Northern Kentucky, we have something for everyone. Finding your new home is as easy as BRG.
It's not just a truck, it's a way of life. It's who you are. It's proud, free, wild. It's a brotherhood, the Brotherhood of Tacoma. For over 50 years, Toyota has built the best, most durable, go-anywhere, do-anything trucks money can buy. That's the Toyota Tacoma, the truck that feels like it was built for you, because it is. Built in the USA. Welcome to the Brotherhood. Find out more at your Toyota dealer or buy at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Back for the top of the third inning, Paul Fritchner and Brian White, the manager of your Florence Y'alls, in here on the Florence Y'alls Broadcasting Network. Florence Freedom tonight, as it's the Florence Freedom and the Lexington Legends here at UC Health Stadium. Leading off here in the top of the third inning, it's Peter Bacchino, 8-9-1, due up against Jonathan Villalobos on the mountain. Yannicker Villalobos. First pitch, a bender in there. Oh, left high. And how do you adjust to that? Sometimes the zones being so different.
You know, we always have this conversation at the beginning of the years, especially with the pitchers, talking about we're not going to have the best umpires. We're not in the big leagues, right?
Yeah.
So we're all working to get there. The players are working, the coaching staff's working, the umpires are working to get to that point. You know, so we got to be patient, got to be able to take the good with the bad, and, you know, you're going to get some of those calls too, the ones that aren't there. So it's going to pan out in your favor as long as you keep your, you know, that level head on your shoulders and not try to show the umpire too much.
Yeah. Ball and 2 strikes now as Bikino can't catch up to that one. Both teams with just a hit apiece in a scoreless affair here. A 1-2. And a swing and a miss. Devastating pitch down underneath the bat of Bikino. Down on strikes. You have to like that sequence there.
Yeah, he's Brody and I were just talking. He knows what he's doing. You know, he's a very smart kid. Able to throw 3 of his pitches all for strikes, drop that breaking ball in there pretty much whenever he wants. So as long as you're able to establish that fastball and changeup play very, very, very nicely.
Devin Hairston in the 9 spot tonight, just like we saw him last night. Here's the first pitch to him, and this time it's upstairs to the fastball to start him off.
This kid's intriguing to me. He's very solid at shortstop. Every time I see him making play after play, I think if he just has someone to work with him on his approach at the plate, I think he'd be a really, really great player.
And we've seen him lead off, too, as he takes ball 2 there. We've seen him lead off, but now batting in the 9 spot the last couple of nights. Maybe the thinking is you have a second leadoff guy there in the 9 spot to turn the lineup over for a couple of former major leaguers there in the 1-2, you know?
Yeah, you hammered it at the end right there. You got a couple of major leaguers hitting 1 and 2 for them. So he's going to bump him down and, you know, flip that lineup over nicely for the top of their order, especially if he has a good night at the plate.
Here comes the 2-1. Another bender catches the inside part of the zone, and that's a pitch that he really likes to go to, especially to even the count there. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the pace just incredibly quick from both of these pitchers.
You know, whenever you're able to do that from a pitching staff, you don't give the hitter any time to think. So they're always on their heels, just playing reaction instead of being able to process the whole sequence of events that took place up to that point. So the faster the tempo, the bigger the advantage you have.
And how much do you tell your hitters when you see a guy like Rodney Tenney, who takes so long in between pitches maybe to disrupt that? How long do you spend talking to him, or is that just his personal style maybe to say, hey, step out, take a pitch here?
You know, he actually, it was his style coming into it, but we do talk about it, especially as a team. You know, we want the pitchers controlling the game whenever we're on the mound, and obviously whenever we're in the box, we want to control the tempo. We want to control the game. We want the pitchers getting frustrated at us. That way we get into, you know, better advantage count. So we will step out, we'll call time, you know, see what we can get away with, part of it.
Yep. Here's the 2-2 to Hairston. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and that is 4 consecutive strikeouts on the mound for Yannicker Villalobos, who has just been dominant here over the last few innings. He allowed a single in the first, but since then, 6 consecutive outs, 4 on strikeouts.
He's cruising now. He's cruising.
Up to 42 pitches, so maybe something to keep an eye on there here in the top of the third through 2 2/3. He's throwing pitch number 43 here as the lineup turns over, and he starts off Eric Young Jr. with a fastball low and in. Young Jr. grounded out to second his first time up. Switch hitter, see him batting from the right side tonight. Lines one just over the jumping head of Simon Whiten, and back into center field for a 2-out base knock.
Played it right, just too up in the zone right there and over the plate. Too much room for error.
In this league, where maybe on a guy like him, where you've seen him a lot in the major leagues, you have more of a scouting report. But on some of these guys that you don't get to see as much, I still see a lot of defensive shifts or defensive arrangements in the field. How do you guys go about making those decisions? Is it just based on how the game is going, or what are you using to shift guys like that, especially early on in the game?
Right, there's different things that we look at. You know, first, if we haven't seen the guy before, we'll kind of let them, you know, we'll play pretty straight. But we'll look at their stance, you know, their feet, their shoulders, their bat path, and we're able to tell quite a bit on what their swing is going to be able to do and what part of the field they're probably going to be the most successful at. So we'll shift that way. We'll have scouting reports that we'll keep ourselves in the dugout. So after we have, you know, a couple series under our belt, we're able to have a better idea of some of these players.
Here's the 0-1 to Ivan DeJesus Jr., and he takes it for ball 1. Count now even, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 away here in the top of the third. Still a scoreless game. Paul Fritchner and Florence Y'all's manager, Brian White, on.
Like, just for an example with him, you see his back foot, how it's kind of angled,
yeah,
where it's not really even. So anything like that, he's going to have a hard time getting that back hip through. So anything inside is going to blow him up. He just can't get fully extended. And he's going to try to get the head out. He's trying to cheat to that pitch. So he's going to be very, very late and get blown up, or he's going to cheat and yank it hard. Very rarely are you going to see anything to the right side of the infield unless it's a complete accident.
So there you go, and you bring Whiteman over maybe closer towards second base.
Absolutely. And even though that they're, you know, we got that righty up right here, and he's probably able to drive the ball to that side pretty well, but we want to have that shift over there for him.
Falling behind 3-1 here, but still 2 outs. Runner off first for the Legends, and a fastball low and in, and that's a 5-pitch walk to put a runner in scoring position.
You know, but that's not a bad walk right there. He did try to force it a little bit, but they were able to tell that he is a dead pull hitter. And they want to make him uncomfortable, staying inside. He just didn't budge, and we're just off just enough for him to draw that walk.
And now it's Nick Akins, the man of the hour last night. 7 RBIs in last night's game, a couple of home runs, and he did some serious damage here at UC Health Stadium. But so far tonight, he grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up.
Yeah, they were able to get on his thumbs a little bit that first at bat. I'm curious to see how they approach this one.
The Yobos goes inside and gets a called strike right underneath his hands. Good pitch there.
Absolutely, and you know that was kind of our scouting report yesterday on him. We missed spots yesterday, and he made us, you know, take that blow. He forced it, so you know, all props to him.
Yeah, I was curious watching those at bats yesterday whether it was a location, whether you were trying to mix it up, or whether it was just a missed spot.
Right, and we're trying to work him in right now until he proves he can handle that third inner black pitch right there. Once he proves that he can do that, then we'll start making adjustments. Even though he had all 7 of their RBIs last.
The Yobos 1 pitch away. The 0-2 with 2 outs. Now, is that more of a slider there, or is that a curve breaking right to left?
I call this a breaking ball. It's, you know, some of these lefties, you don't really see the 12-6 anymore, and it's like a kind of in between slur, but it's a little harder.
It's tough to tell from this angle up here, too. Yeah.
Call it a breaking ball.
The 1-2. There is that breaking pitch again. Goes to it back-to-back, but Akins fouls it off down the third baseline.
And now he knows that they're trying to work him in, so he's trying to cheat to it. So he's only thrown that changeup a couple times tonight. It wouldn't be a bad idea to try to get him to chase that down away changeup.
Might have broken
maybe
his bat.
Elevate that chest again. You know, he's seen him swing at that a few times.
Might have broken his bat there. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes. So still 1 pitch away, and they're trying to work him in. Standing with that back foot nearly out of the batter's box on the right-hand side. Left on right matchup here. A 1-2. Swung on and missed, and there it was again.
Here we go. That's nice.
So we'll head now to the bottom of the 3rd inning as the Florence Freedom and the Lexington Legends still sit in a scoreless affair on the Florence Y'alls Broadcasting Network.
Chris Collinsworth here. Western and Southern can help you translate your financial needs. Start with a free, no-obligation insurance checkup. It doesn't take long, and it's a great way to find out how to protect your family's future. Talk to a financial translator today.
Call our Northern Kentucky office at 859-426-3300. That's 859-426-3300 for your free, no-obligation review.
Compensated endorser, Western and Southern Financial Group, Cincinnati, Ohio, R5-1307.
BRG is locally owned and operated, so we take pride in our community you choose to call home. With spacious floor plans, neighborhoods that complement your lifestyle, pet-friendly communities, 24-hour emergency maintenance, the amenities are endless. Come home to BRG Apartments. With communities located in Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio, as well as in Northern Kentucky, we have something for everyone. Finding your new home is as easy as BRG.
It's not just a truck. It's a way of life. It's who you are. It's proud, free, wild. It's a brotherhood. The Brotherhood of Tacoma. For over 50 years, Toyota has built the best, most durable, go-anywhere, do-anything trucks money can buy. That's the Toyota Tacoma. The truck that feels like it was built for you, because it is. Built in the USA. Welcome to the Brotherhood. Find out more at your Toyota dealer or buy at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Bottom three on the Florence Freedom Broadcasting Network, and it is still a scoreless game. 2 hits for Lexington, 1 hit for the Freedom, and a chopped ground ball foul down the third base line for Austin Riggins. And just like the Lexington Legends in the top half of this inning, it's 8-9-1 due up for the Freedom, wearing their home white jerseys with the red numbers and the red letters across the chest. Black helmets on the home team in the first base dugout. Cass Silber out to the mound. Here comes pitch number 34 from him, and it's a bender outside for ball 1. Paul Fritchner and Brian White calling this game for you here. Brian, the manager of your Florence Y'alls, joining us for last inning and this inning here on the broadcast. The 1-1 and a ground ball back up the middle. Ivan DeJesus Jr. from second base fields the weak grounder and throws on to first. Kind of got in on his hands a little bit there.
Yeah, and you're seeing both these pitchers, and this game's cruising right now, but they're able to command that fastball. So it's going to open a lot of doors for them later in this game. They might know that the rain's coming here pretty soon and want to work quick. I don't know.
Yeah, the rain is in the forecast. Heavy rain at 8:15, and we're 10 minutes to 8 o'clock right now. So we'll see if the Weather Channel can hold up to their end of the bargain on that one if the rain does come, or if not, there's some blue sky over to the left, so maybe we'll get lucky here.
And I wouldn't put it past this location. I feel like there's always a chance of rain every day, and it misses us quite a bit, so we'll see.
Marshall Rich at the plate, and he takes the first pitch up. And plus playing on the turf field too, as Aaron and I were talking about in the open, you can kind of keep playing a little bit longer maybe than if you were on a dirt field.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know how Pilf is. He's going to play until they kick him off the field, so he's not going to be asking to get out there.
There's the 1-0 to Rich, and it's low and in. Rich, we've seen cycle through this lineup behind the plate. How have you been assessing his performance so far this year?
You know, he was intriguing coming into it. I believe he signed to go into spring training with Southern Illinois, straight out of college right now. So this is kind of his first experience in, you know, a bigger environment with older players at this caliber of a level. He's improving. He's improving day in and day out. He just needs to be able to slow the game down a little bit more, you know. And you see it a lot with college players coming in, especially the catching position. I was the same way coming out of college. You know, it's a different type of style that you're playing. You're working with different arms. You're out here every day, taking care of your legs. You know, it's a grind.
And there's a gapper to right center. Rich around first. He's going to head for 2. Nick King picks it up at the wall. He'll round second and go to third. The throw, the relay to third is not in time. And that's a triple for Marshall Rich. Splitting the gap in right center. The relay couldn't get there. A head-first slide ahead of the tag. And Florence has the go-ahead run 90 feet away with 1 out in the bottom of the third.
You see him hit that wall halfway to third base.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, get there, get there. Oh, he did it.
But still, after what you were just saying, encouraging to go the other way there, split the gap and put his team in a position to go on top here. Second hit of the game for the Freedom.
Absolutely. Got a pitch you can handle, and he drove it.
First pitch to Craig Massey is low and in just across the shoe tops for ball 1, and Massey, an impressive bat for the Freedom at the top of the lineup. Somebody you guys talk very highly of.
Man, that kid, not a kid, he's older than I am. That man's a stud. You know? He can swing. There's a reason why he's playing as long as he is and doing it at such a high level for this long. You know, I can't go out there and do what he's doing, that's for sure.
A ball and no strikes to Massey, who popped out to short to begin the night for the Freedom. Now he takes this one low again in the turf. 2 balls and no strikes.
You know, he's such a great guy too, such a professional, not too good to do anything. He's always helping out, always hustling, always one of the first guys there every day.
2-0.
Got to be around.
Low and in. Anything in the outfield here scores a run pretty much, as long as it's deep enough even on a sac fly. Less than 2 outs. 3-0. Quality strike there over the inner half for strike 1.
I'm going to put money against the job done this, I bet, if they don't walk him.
Off the third base side of the rubber, out of the windup. Silber ready to go, and he grounds it foul right underneath his feet. And the count now full at 3-2. Simon Whiteman waiting on deck.
I'm expecting the changeup right here. What are you thinking?
See what they go to here in the 3-2. Change up maybe outside and go low and in. It looked like they went to it there on a full count. Turned on it, got out in front.
Yep. Yeah, he's out there battling, but he's scrappy in the box. Once he gets his 2 strikes, it's hard to punch him out.
3-2 again. And it's low and in for ball 4. Looked like they went to that same pitch 2 in a row, but this time down in the turf, an easy take for Massey. And they didn't really want much to do with him that one. It just kept pounding that ball, kept going low, trying to get him to chase, and I think that was the 3 of those 4 balls hit the turf.
And probably a smart move. You had the righty on deck, got the double play in order as well now, so probably ups their percentages of getting out of this.
Simon Whiteman walked, stole second, got to third, his first time up. Silber back out of the stretch now. First pitch to Whiteman. There goes the runner to second. Massey, no throw. He'll be up, standing up. Another stolen base for the Freedom, and that is just another tally to this Freedom running roster who just, you get on and you get over. It's almost automatic.
Man, it hurts whenever you're in the other dugout and that's happening to you. We just intentionally pitched around him to get that double play ball, and then the first pitch he takes off, and the double play's out of order now.
Here's the 1-0. Gets the strike call down the middle of the plate to even the count at 1. But you see Silber there with a bit of an awkward stance. His right foot on the third base side of the rubber, but that open stance with his left foot on the first base side of the rubber.
Right, and I'm curious on why he does that. You don't really see that too often from a pitching standpoint, but maybe he used to have a bad problem of being rotational. It helps him stay in line a little better.
1-1 bounces, but blocked up decently by Cornett. Doesn't get all the way to the backstop to allow Marshall Rich to score. Rich on third, Massey on second, Whiteman at the dish, and Chad Sedio, another power bat waiting in the on-deck circle. But going right on right here, this is an out they would really like to get if you're Lexington in a scoreless game, because that takes away Sedio's chance at a sac fly.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now I'm sacrificing an out for a run. Right.
Of Dalton Cornett. So we'll take you into the booth here while Cornett goes down. Paul Fritchner, Brian White here on the Florence Freedom Broadcasting Network tonight. As we switch off and your Florence Y'alls rained out down in Lexington, but get a chance to come up here and watch this game. And how different is it for you to sit up here or just sit in the stands and watch the game versus always being down on the field?
It's I love the game of baseball, so I'm a big fan at the same time, and I don't really get to do this too often where I'm actually getting to enjoy the game and relax and not have my brain work 24/7 down there. So I'm definitely enjoying this. I'm gonna take advantage of it as well.
Good night for it so far. Hopefully the rain holds off. Rain's supposed to be coming here in about 20 minutes, but we'll see. Some blue sky over to our left, but now on a 2-2 count, Dalton Cornett walks off that foul ball in a big spot early on in this game with 2 runners in scoring position for the Freedom. Long pause, now the delivery, and it's low and away. You have to wonder here, Brian, is it control or is it just Silber dancing around, not really wanting to attack?
To me, I think it's having those 2 guys on a scoring position right now, right at the top of their order. I think he's kind of feeling the pressure a little bit. It's completely different pitching with the runner on first versus a runner on second or third. That's why we run as much as we do. We know how that affects a pitcher.
Here's the 3-2. And it's low and away. That same 3-ball pitch that he threw to Craig Massey, and it bounces through the left-handed batter's box. So now the bases are full with only 1 out. Small positive if you're Lexington is that the double play gets you out of the inning. But with the bases loaded and such a big bat at the plate, anything to the outfield again, a sacrifice fly could score a run.
Yeah, and this is the guy you want up to the plate right now in this situation. You've seen it do it over and over again. Hopefully he gets it done right here.
Walks will haunt. They'll come back to hurt you.
Absolutely. I was going to say, after his reaction, I think it's pretty obvious it's command issues. Showing his emotions out there on the mound right now. He's not too pleased with his performance the last 2 hitters.
Chad Sedio flew out to left field his first time up. Just in foul ground. Nick Aikens made the catch, now goes deep to right. That one would have been long gone, but it is way foul, and that ball bounced onto the hill across the street.
Yeah, that was about 440 feet foul. Man. Throw that in there again.
A monster shot, light tower power from Setio, as we mentioned in the on-deck circle, but just out in front of that. Now the 0-1 goes off speed and gets the call over the outer half.
Good pitch right there. Good pitch. Nothing you can do with that.
After the first pitch, you go with a fastball in and go off speed away. Now what do you do here in an 0-2? Pitch. It bounces.
You know, the fact that he trusts his catcher as much as he does, still being able to bury those breaking balls with a runner on third, that shows a lot about the guy behind the plate right now. You know, the confidence that he has, and that he's not going to let anything behind him.
It's Rich on third, Massey on second, Whiteman off first. The 1-2, and it's high. Now, one thing is when Marshall Rich led off with the triple, Brian, Silver was pitching out of the windup with the runner on third, but now with the bases loaded, he still goes back to the stretch. So a bit of a adjustment there, and you haven't seen him pitch too well out of the stretch. So
yeah, it's that's a good call on your part. I honestly didn't even notice that whenever that happened. I don't know what the reason for that is. You don't see that too often.
2-2 swung on and missed, and that's a big strikeout for Silver for the second out of the inning. Gets out of some damage, but he still has Logan Wyatt, the cleanup hitter, to work through.
Good sequence after that first pitch. You know, Setio got a hold of, and he made pitchers the rest of the way. It was not an easy at bat for Setio by any means.
Wyatt was the first strikeout victim for Silver back in the first inning. And there's that breaking ball over the outer half for strike one. 2 hits apiece, but a big spot. And this is one of those things, Brian, where early on in a game you can really seize that momentum.
Oh, absolutely. You know, this is a big moment right here. And we have this philosophy, you know, this idea, really Pelf does, where, you know, in situations and innings where you're supposed to score and you don't end up scoring those situations, there's a good opportunity, a good chance that the team coming to the dugouts want to score that very next half inning. So we'll see how this next half inning plays out if they don't get it done right here.
Here's the 0-2, low and in. And that's that same exact 0-2 pitch we've seen now in 3 or 4 consecutive at-bats.
He trusts it. You know, he's not leaving that over the plate, up over the plate. So it's a pitch that he knows he's confident that he's not going to get hurt in that count, you know?
Yep. Silver now up to 61 pitches. We're only in the bottom of the third. 1-2. Grounded to first on a couple of hops. Pete Bacchino is going to flip to first, and a athletic grab by Silver as he stepped on first. Saved a run or two. And that's a massive spot for Cass Silver to get out of with the bases loaded. He gets out of the inning, and now it's scoreless into the fourth. Well, Brian, thank you so much for coming on and joining us.
Absolutely.
You have to come back sometime if you get a chance to come back on the air. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I had a blast up here, and y'all doing a great job, so I appreciate y'all having me. It's you know, we get to watch the games every night or the next day, and we enjoy listening to y'all talk about us and about our players, and it's always in a positive way. We appreciate that.
Appreciate that, Brian. Thank you so much. Well, that's Brian White. We'll give you one last look in the booth here. And Brian White here, your manager of the Florence Yalls. We'll be back after this for the top of the fourth on the Florence Yalls Broadcasting Network. Back for the top of the fourth inning on the Florence Y'alls Broadcasting Network. Paul Fritchner and Aaron Brody now joining you on the broadcast, as that was Florence manager Brian White that you heard. The Florence Y'alls rained out tonight down in Lexington. There is no score here in the top of the fourth inning, as that was a huge spot for Cass Silber to get out of in the bottom half of the third. It's scoreless now, but the Freedom had the bases loaded in that third inning with less than 2 outs and were unable to get a run across. Can't emphasize enough how much that might mean later on in this game. But with nobody out, this is the leadoff batter. It's 4, 5, and 6 due up for Lexington. Matt Winokur, Dalton Cornett, and John Sansone leading off. And Winokur takes the first pitch and fouls it down the third base line, out of play. No balls and a strike, 2 hits apiece for these teams. As the rain's starting to come down out here in front of us, the 0-1 pitch, and it's lined foul down the first base side. No balls, 2 strikes. We'll have to see how long the rain keeps on pouring. There is some blue sky over to the left, but rain starting to really come down now as fans begin to head for the concourse. The 0-2, and it's lined into left field, and it'll get down. Matt Winokur rounding first. He's going to head to second, holding on to his helmet. Here's the throw back in, but it's not in time, and it's a leadoff double for Aaron. As we reset here in the top of the fourth inning in a scoreless game. It's nice to be joined by Brian White, and
how cool
really
was that?
Great conversation, and so nice of him to volunteer to come up and take some time with us.
No doubt. Good to hear from him. I told him at the very beginning of the season, you know, we started a thing last year with Dennis Pelfer. We're going to have a weekly coaches show, and he's a little more camera shy, I think, typically than Dennis or Chad Rose, but man, is he really spreading his wings, embracing the opportunity to come on and talk, and that's just phenomenal to see as Villalobos takes a spill on the wet mound, and you talked about it in the pregame show. That's the biggest concern about playing through the rain, despite the fact you have the turf field, is how are the conditions on the turf, and that's not something that Chad Rose or Dennis Pelfrey want to see, Villalobos falling down in a delivery.
Dalton Cornett behind 0-1. Here's the pitch, and it's low and away. A ball and a strike. If it's just rain like this, we'll keep on playing. Here's the 1-1, and it's popped up foul behind the plate. And there's a rainbow straight out in left center field, off in the distance. Rainbow ending right into left center field. Pot of gold here in Florence, Kentucky. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out, top of the fourth. Go ahead run on second base for Lexington, but a pop-up on the infield. Everybody converging behind the mound. From first, Logan Wyatt. Now it's from short. Fitzgerald makes the call. And a P6 if you're scoring from home. That's 2 pop-outs on the infield for Dalton Cornett tonight.
That'll work for Villalobos. Got the guy standing at second base. Scoreless game and hoping to keep it that way. You worry about the productive outs with nobody out at the time. Just move them 90 feet away, and 1 more productive out could give the Legends the early 1-0 edge, but instead gets the pop out, can't advance, and now the strikeout is what he's searching for.
John Sansone goes up hacking, and he swings through pitch number 1. Top of the fourth, no score. And a massive spot for Cass Silber in the bottom half of the last inning. As the 0-1 is up and away, even the count at 1.
Yeah, you and B. White were finishing your discussion in that half inning, but what a monumental opportunity wasted by the Freedom in that inning. You have the bases loaded. You got the meat of your order coming to the plate. Thought for all the world they would come through in that spot, but tip of the cap to Silber making the pitch.
And here's the 1-1. Deep to left. This one way back. And, well, that's just a casual fly out to left field.
Moderately deep. I mean, he was a couple steps away from the warning track, but not enough to leave the yard, though off the bat it did sound good.
That is exactly what happened 2 years ago. A replica.
We had to talk about it, and it brings it right back to the forefront. But no, another out for Villalobos, who's filing him away. Winokur still just standing there helpless at second, but not done yet.
So now Nick King, who struck out looking his first time up. With 2 outs, the pitch, he swings and he fouls it. He hit it straight down. They thought that was going to be a ground out, but home plate umpire Nick Saxton saying that it was a foul ball straight down into the box. So ahead 0-1 is Villalobos. Can he work out of a jam with a runner in scoring position? And a pitch, did he go?
Sure did.
He did. So it's 0-2.
Just a nasty back foot breaking ball from Villalobos there. You have to kind of start to go just to get your timing on these more major league arms like Villalobos. But King finished his swing trying to jump out of the way of the pitch at the same time. That was well executed.
And there's a pitch low. Did that one hit him, or was it a foul ball, or what happened?
And that was bizarre. It was the exact same pitch. Went right back for the back foot breaking ball. Got a very similar check swing, but it will be ruled to have hit King as he takes first base. And it must have got him. Marshall Rich never made a move for the baseball that skipped to the backstop with a man at third base. If your catcher's not even going to make an attempt, you know something happened there. I think King wanted to perhaps stay in there and swing it. I don't know why. You can take your base and hand the bat to the next guy, set up runners on the edges, build a bigger threat with 2 outs, but it's almost like he was trying to argue that it didn't hit him in the box, and now Dennis Pelfrey is going to come out and say the same thing.
Maybe in a developmental league like this, you want the credit for that RBI.
On the line? What did I say? I don't even know what I said. Yeah.
So it's Peter Bacchino.
Do have Dennis Pelfrey with us on the live coach's mic in that first base dugout.
Bacchino behind 1-0. But he fouls off that pitch to even it up 1-1. 2 outs. Villalobos almost out of it. Just needs one quality pitch. He's up to his 70th on the way here in the 4th. 1-1. And that fastball goes low and in.
Pretty good pitch, atta boy.
Yeah, that was, Pelf's right. That was a good pitch. And we've seen it there some tonight. Can't blame him for going back to the spot, but this time he doesn't get the call.
So now the 2-1. Swung through it.
Sure.
Might have gotten a piece of it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Pelf living dangerously down there.
Yep.
With the "you sure" reference after the swing.
I didn't yell at Dave.
2-2. 2 outs. Villalobos goes low and in with a fastball. The count runs full. The runners will be on the move. The payoff pitch and 2 outs. Crowd is gathered down in the Maker's Mark Party patio as they await the rain to hold off. The Weather Channel app pretty much spot on to the minute, calling the rain. Payoff pitch with 2 outs, top of the 4th, 2 men on for Lexington. The runners go, and a long foul ball down to the left. That one might get onto the concourse.
Extra pitches, not including
Count will be full again.
the 2 after the ball that wasn't foul. No, this is be the 10th extra pitch. Yeah, it really could be.
The payoff again. We'll have to wait as he wheels around and looks at second.
To play translator, even though our audience very educated in the game of baseball, Dennis still lamenting that hit by pitch for Nick King that it looked like he offered at, saying that this is the 10th extra pitch from that moment that would have been the 3rd out.
3-2 popped up. Out in shallow center field, now drifting into medium depth. Nobody can see the ball now coming on from
11
left
extra
field.
Pitches. 11 extra pitches
Cesar
right there.
Trejo makes the play in left center and calls everybody off. That was almost dangerous, but Villalobos gets out of the inning. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. No score on the Florence Y'alls Broadcasting Network.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hobart, president of Dick's Sporting Goods. I know personally how important sports are to our kids. That's why we've been working hard to make it easier for them to play. I invite you to come into our stores or shop us online. You won't believe all the changes that we've made at Dick's. We have more baseball and softball gear than ever before, an incredible selection of top running shoes, and we've got the hottest clubs in golf like the Callaway Epic Flash and TaylorMade M5 and M6. Stop into Dick's today to see all of the great changes we've made.
Substation 2 has been bringing Florence the freshest food at the lowest prices since 1981. You've tried the rest, now come taste the best fresh sliced sub sandwiches anywhere. Substation 2 was voted the best sub sandwich in Northern Kentucky by Northern Kentucky Magazine in 2016. Let Substation cater your next event. Give us a call at 859-371-9490 or come visit us at 7905 Dream Street in Florence. Substation 2. Quality at a price you can afford.
Can't carry a bowling ball in a plastic bag. Can't rub plastic bags together to make fire. Can't turn them into swim trunks. And you can't put plastic bags in your Rumpke recycling container. Visit Rumpke.com for recycling do's and don'ts. Learn more at Rumpke.com.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
Tyler Fitzgerald leading off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A lot of men left on base tonight. 5 for Lexington, 4 through the first 3 innings for the Florence Freedom. First pitch to Tyler Fitzgerald is taken for a strike. He struck out swinging his first time up in the 2nd inning, and now quickly Cass Silber fires back with a ball low and in. Silber's command has been fairly erratic tonight. Hasn't really commanded the zone as well as maybe Lexington would like him to. And here's the 1-1. And that one drifts away off speed. Again, falling behind in the count, not doing himself a lot of favors as he's up to 65 pitches. Here comes 66. And a number off the end of the bat down to the Florence dugout. Cotton candy skies over to our left. Are you a blue cotton candy guy or a pink cotton candy guy?
Oh, man. See, I can't go wrong. But if I had just one to pick, I'd probably pick pink.
Okay, good. Here's the 2-2. And low and in. That one missed, and the count goes full. Pink is definitely the way to go.
Pink's the way to go, but I definitely don't hate on the blue.
No.
Like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But if I have a choice.
3-2, fly ball to center. This will send Matt Winokur back a few steps. But straight away now settles under and makes the catch. Yeah, it's one of those things where when the guy is running up and down the aisles in between innings and he's calling out that he has cotton candy and you look and you see that there's only blue left, you're resigned to the fact that you have to because it's better than nothing. But is that your favorite or...
You know,
I should ask, is it your favorite concession, like the guys on the aisles?
I know.
You can go up to the booth and get something that's probably better than cotton candy, but but from the guys on the aisles, the ushers that run up and down with the tubs on their heads.
If I can't get a Miller Lite, then no. Many a memory, since you bring it up, at old Synergy Field and Great American Ballpark when I was young, going to the games. That actually was always a thing me and my brother would ask my dad for when we were there. Can we get cotton candy tonight? That was always the thing. My brother would throw in the UDF malt every now and again, but I was always cotton candy or bust.
The 0-1 pitch to A.J. Bumpus, who singled his first time up. That's low and in, so the count goes to 1-1.
But I don't remember too many decisions where I had to pick blue because pink wasn't available.
1-1, a check swing. Did he go? He did not, says Dave Blanchett on the bases. But my decision was based on the atmosphere and the temperature. If it was a very warm July day, you have to go with the wooden spoon frozen lemonade.
Okay.
But the problem is Bumpus fouls this one down the left field line. Problem there is that the wooden spoon is just not optimal scooping. It's just you got to find your way up to the concourse to get a spoon, and by that point, it's just better to.
Then you need a straw.
Yeah, it's just by yeah. And the 2-2 outside, ball 3.
There was something about that wooden spoon that made me feel like I was at the doctor's office too. You kind of get that tongue depressor taste.
And that's
they would give you those wooden spoons with the malts. I remember thinking like I'm tasting more wood than I am ice cream.
Oh yeah. Here's the 3-2. Bumpus in on his hands, but somehow manages to get this one out into deep right field. Bumpus flies out to Nick King for out number 2. Yeah, it was always strawberry lemonade, frozen ice cream mixed with wood. But I was not fortunate enough, or am still not fortunate enough, to be able to enjoy peanuts and Cracker Jacks because I wasn't blessed with the genes. I'm allergic to peanuts. So
oh, brutal.
I've never been able to do that. Low and in with the first pitch to Cesar Trejo. Cass Silber now up to 75 pitches. Trejo grounded into an inning-ending double play in the second. Silber takes him back 2 balls and no strikes there.
Well, I do got to say, for spending the majority of my formative years working in food and beverage, your kind are a real hassle.
Oh, we stink. I mean, hand up. We're terrible. 2 balls and no strikes. It's grounded in between short and third. This is going to be a difficult play for Hairston. The throw across is not in time, and an infield hit on a well-hit ball. It's Cesar Trejo. But yeah, Aaron, we ruined the fun for everybody. I'm self-aware enough to know that. Now, I will say, credit to UC Health Stadium and the Florence Freedom, this is a peanut-free facility. And I am extremely allergic. I mean, to the point where if you were to throw a peanut at me, I would have a pretty severe reaction. So I guess if you really wanted to kick me off the broadcast, that would be the way to do it.
My word. Well, thank goodness you did not go to Indiana Tech when I was a freshman, because for whatever reason, me and a few of my buddies thought it would be funny at night to go in people's rooms and peanut butter their faces while they slept on a piece of bread.
Yep. So there's a first pitch or a pickoff attempt. I remember you telling me that about 2 weeks into my first season with you. You told me that story, and I thought, oh, my goodness, I better not make him mad.
The peanut butter bandits, they call us. It was always teammates. We were all baseball players. We'd have fun with each other. And that was what we did for fun.
There goes Trejo to second. The pitch was a ball. Trejo overslides the bag. Now I have to scamper back to second. And at second base, Ivan DeJesus Jr. making a joke that he had the ball in his glove and it popped out on a stolen base.
Yeah, that was funny. The ball was 5 feet in front of Trejo, but he didn't realize that, so DeJesus was able to have some fun with him there. Got Trejo to frolic back to the base in a panic.
But yeah, UC Health Stadium here, a peanut-free facility for people like myself who can't eat it and can enjoy a baseball game.
You're good.
So credit to them for doing that. 1-0, foul to the backstop.
Yeah, me and my buddies who would do that, we were have often remarked how lucky we were that we didn't peanut butter the wrong face one night.
Would have been my face.
Suddenly, a fun little harmless prank turns into a jail sentence.
I guess I shouldn't laugh, but as a member of the community, I feel like, all right.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Here's the 1-1, a big secondary league jump and a stolen base for Cesar Trejo. Yeah, can never enjoy the Cracker Jacks. Are they all they're cracked up to be?
They're not bad, but if we're really being honest, I think we could probably go back and update the lyrics of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I think there's probably a more optimal ballpark snack to lump in there.
2-1, low and in. 3 balls and a strike. Kettle corn, maybe?
It's still got a rhyme. That's the thing. It's still got a flow.
We can
maybe not rhyme. Rhyme's the wrong word, but it's still got a flow. But yeah, who really?
3-1, fouled off. Count runs full here with 2 outs.
Could go the rest of my life and never have another Cracker Jack and be just fine.
See, that's the vibe I get from everybody when I bring that up.
They're not something you'd miss if they were no longer available.
Well, looks like I'm in a good spot, I guess.
They're not sponsoring us.
Hopefully Curd Town doesn't cook in peanut oil. The 3-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3. Florence strands a runner at third, and we'll head down to the 5th. Scoreless game. The rain has stopped, and hopefully it stays away here as this game goes along. Get through the 5th, it'll be an official game, but still scoreless. We'll head now to that 5th inning on the Florence Freedom Broadcasting Network.
Have you ever wondered what heaven tastes like? Today at the ballpark, we are giving you the opportunity to do just that. To delight your taste buds, we present Curd Town deep-fried cheese curds. These golden crispy morsels, with their gooey cheesy center, are the tasty treat that have all of the angels singing. After trying our delicious cheese curds, we can't promise you a halo, but we do guarantee a joyful stomach and a cheesy smile.
Today's game is sponsored in part by Clark Dietrich Building Systems, a military-friendly employer. Clark Dietrich offers a comprehensive lineup of steel construction products and services across the United States and abroad. Using cold-formed steel, we manufacture innovative products for interior framing and finishing, exterior framing, floor and roof framing, as well as clips, connectors, metal lath, barrier mesh, and accessories. For more information, visit our website at www.clarkdietrich.com.
Bill Cunningham, the Great American for the Roar Insurance Agencies. Over the last many years, Alvin Roar at Roar Insurance Agency has handled all my personal and business needs. They are a large and growing national insurance business located right here in Greater Cincinnati. Call the Roar Agency today at 513-985-4200 or go to roarins.com. Call Alvin Roar. Call the Roar Agency today.
Network, Paul Fritchner, Aaron Brody with you. It's 9-1-2 due up here in this inning. First pitch from Yanniker Villalobos. Called a strike over the outer half, 9-1-2. Devin Hairston, Eric Young Jr., and Ivan DeJesus Jr. Hairston struck out swinging his first time up. And the 0-1 gets to the backstop. Counts even at 1. Dark skies over to the right, but clouds trying to dissipate over to the left. It really poured here for about 5 minutes. Just enough to send all the fans scampering up into the Maker's Mark party patio. Here's the 1-1. Fastball outside. 2 balls and a strike. We've seen some control issues from the pitchers as they slip and slide out there on the mound. That plant foot has been an issue. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, a foul tip into the catcher's glove. Marshall Rich hangs on. Villalobos throwing his 79th pitch. number 6.
And to go back to the last inning when Dennis Pelfrey was giving Nick Saxton an earful about the extra pitches, a little more insight as to why is Villalobos and Edgar Martinez are 3. So the pitch count has been an issue.
And it's Eric Young Jr. now, 1 for 2 tonight, a single and a ground out, and he takes the first pitch under his hands for strike 1. And the 0-1. It catches the outer half with a fastball.
Yoniker only supposed to go 85 pitches, and they were hoping that would be good for 6 innings. And he's going to be at that mark here in the 5th, which will make you wonder who they'll get up in an emergency situation late.
The 0-2 back up the middle, but snagged. A line drive right into the glove of Yoniker Villalobos. Hard hit line drive right into his glove for out number 2.
Why pitchers can be athletes. Villalobos proving it right there. That's a hot shot, no doubt base hit single if he does not make that snag. And he did it, made it look easy. Threw it around the horn, which is always a fun moment for a pitcher. How often are you getting to be involved in throwing it around the horn? And to make a play like that, good work.
Now it's DeJesus Jr. 1 for 1 with a walk. First pitch gets to the backstop.
Now I was a little bit surprised to see P.J. Phillips kind of rearrange that middle third of the batting order tonight, considering how well those 3 really produced, despite the 8-7 loss in the finale with the Gulls last night. And you kind of look down and people are getting on base, but out of.
There's a 1-0 pitch, a fastball over the outer half.
We talked about it on the broadcast a bunch last night, how Eric Young and DeJesus and Winokur were all getting on ahead of Akins, who was doing a tremendous job producing the runs. Tonight, that magic hasn't been there.
And a hot shot into left center field. That splits the gap and get all the way to the wall. DeJesus Jr. around first. He will glide on in to second base with a stand-up double with 2 outs here in a scoreless 5th inning.
Also, right as I say that, DeJesus splits the gap and stands at second for Akins, but last night he was getting the opportunity to come to the plate with 2 guys on, and obviously you're not always going to be able to do that, manufacture that kind of success 1 through 3 to bring up the big bopper in the cleanup spot. But in a 0-0 game, every base runner matters, and now they have one in scoring position for Akins, who had 7 RBIs, all 7 last night for Lexington.
Akins hit into a fielder's choice his first time up, comes up empty on that swing, and struck out swinging to end the 3rd. A quiet night offensively for both teams. 4 hits, though, for Lexington, 3 for Florence. Nobody has scored. Akins waiting on the 0-1 pitch. Villalobos waiting to deliver the 0-1. Breaking pitch, and Akins turns on it, hits it to left field, and another no-doubter for Nick Akins. His 3rd home run in 2 nights. And Nick Akins is on fire. Last night in the 4-hole, tonight he moves up to the 3 spot and goes yard to left field.
Guy is larger than life. Got to see him walking into the ballpark tonight in his Under Armour dry fit. Dude is an absolute specimen, and he proves it. Everything off his bat jumps off the barrel. 3rd home run in 2 nights, and it doesn't matter if 2 guys are on or 1 guy. When you got the power like he does, he makes it a 2-run game with 1 swing of the bat. What a series, or really what a week, I should say, he's had.
So now it's Matt Winokur, who doubled his last time up to lead off the 4th. Flew out to center to end the 1st. And Villalobos starts him off with a fastball outside. Well, another mistake pitch there to Akins. And he made them pay. A 1-0. Breaking ball inside, ball 2. That was another no-doubter, as we saw last night. 5 RBIs just off of home runs. 7 RBI total for Akins. 2-0 fouled to the backstop. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And a broken back ground ball to second. Charging in on it is Whiteman. Underhand flip to first. That weak grounder gets the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Nick Akins records his 8th and 9th RBI of the last 2 nights. And in doing so, gives the Lexington Legends a 2-0 lead. Florence will try to tie it up after this break on the Florence Freedom Broadcasting Network.
Chris Collinsworth here. Western and Southern can help you translate your financial needs. Start with a free, no-obligation insurance checkup. It doesn't take long, and it's a great way to find out how to protect your family's future. Talk to a financial translator today.
Call our Northern Kentucky office at 859-426-3300. That's 859-426-3300 for your free, no-obligation review.
Compensated endorser, Western and Southern Financial Group, Cincinnati, Ohio, R5-1307.
At Gentle Touch Grooming, your pet is treated with care and will look beautiful. Give your dog or cat the spa day they need. Gentle Touch offers spa baths, deluxe spa baths, full haircuts, and nail trimmings. Book an appointment today at 859-283-1373. That's 859-283-1373. Gentle Touch will even offer 10% off just for mentioning this ad. They want to see those waggling tails soon at Gentle Touch Grooming. Hey Freedom fans, let's play a game of Did You Know, courtesy of Life Center. Did you know organ and tissue donation is life-saving and life-changing for thousands of people? How about that more than 600 people in greater Cincinnati are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant? You can change someone's life with a simple yes when you go to renew your driver's license or state ID. Say yes and register to be a donor. Visit lifepassedon.org for more information or to register online. Life, pass it on.
Braxton Roxby, an undrafted free agent of the Cincinnati Reds, takes over on the mound. Cass Silver's night is done for the Lexington Legends, and Roxby stands at 6'3", 215. An imposing figure out there on the mound. But Cass Silver finishes through 5 total innings. Or excuse me, through 4 innings, had 4 strikeouts. Walked 3 batters, did not allow a run. So Braxton Roxby is tasked with 9, 1, and 2 here in this order. Marshall Rich, Craig Massey, and Simon Whiteman for the Florence Freedom. Paul Fritchner, Aaron Brody with you on the broadcasts. Joined earlier by Florence Y'all's manager, Brian White. Great to have him on. Roxby's first pitch here is a strike down the middle. If you have not yet listened or you missed it, you're joining us late, you can go back on the YouTube video and just rewind back to the 2nd and 3rd innings. A lot of great insight from Brian, but always interesting to have a guy like him up here on the air and either validate what we're saying or call us out for not saying the right thing.
You can learn so much, and it's fun to get their evaluations on all these guys.
The 1-1. Go off speed to the outer half, and he gets the call.
I remember my first year in Florence when I was the number 2 for Spencer Smith. I would still hang around every Friday and Saturday during the fireworks and during the Rockin' Saturdays. B. White and some of the Freedom players would sit around and just talk baseball. I remember how much about the game I learned just by sitting there and shutting my mouth
and listening to the pros talk.
1-2, popped up foul into the parking lot to the right.
That, of course, when Brian was the pitching coach for Dennis Pelfrey. Hang in the Frontier League, and the guys that had the arrow pointed up where they would be in the Frontier League but probably not for long, and how they would always seemingly get those guys here in Florence was something to behold.
1-2, a check swing, and they're going to call it a strike anyway. Nick Saxton rings up Marshall Rich, and that's the first out.
So, yeah, I was happy to see B. White come on. He texted me right when their game got rained out earlier and was like, hey, our game got banged. Can I come on the broadcast tonight? And I said, absolutely, man. You just tell me what innings you want to come on. We'll make it happen. Earlier, always the better. He still gets to catch the more climactic latter half of the innings down there in the dugout, but spreading the knowledge over the first couple here tonight.
One away as the lineup turns over to Craig Massey. Takes the first pitch low for ball one. Roxby out of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Righty with those high stirrup socks, pitching out of the stretch. 1-0 pitch to the lefty, Craig Massey, and Massey lines it into the gap. This one's going to roll all the way to the wall. Over to pick it up is Nick King. Massey into second, standing up. He'll stay there. And it's a one-out double for the leadoff hitter.
And that's what makes Craig Massey so great. It's not just the production, his ability to get base hits. It's the times in which he picks to get the base hit. You just give up the lead. It's a two-run game. He's the absolute tone setter. That's what Dennis Pelfrey described him as in a previous edition of the game report. You need that spark. You need somebody to go out there and have success. You're facing a tough arm, an affiliated arm in Roxby. He plugs the gap, stands at second, and you know a two-run lead is far from a comfortable lead when you're taking on these Freedom because of guys like Craig Massey.
One away here in the fifth. There goes the runner to third. Massey taking off the pitch, a strike, but no throw to third. Massey in safely. And with the Freedom trailing 2-0, they will run 90 feet away.
And again, just terrific feel. Roxby didn't check on him, and there's no reason to wait around. If the guy's not going to take a look, you're off to an aggressive lead. Nobody dancing in behind you. Pelf's always so great at letting you know when guys are crashing to the base or when short's there. As you'll hear him say a lot, nobody was there. Massey takes the base, and now a wild pitch makes it a one-run game.
And now the 0-1 scores, and the Florence Freedom are on the board. Crowd unhappy with that one.
Still good situational baseball there by Simon Whiteman. The guy can run like a deer, and he almost beat that out. But he did the job. He got the run 90 feet away, a ground ball, especially as deep as Hairston was playing it short. It was a slow ground ball. You knew it was going to score the run. And let this guy, Chad Sedio, start a two-out rally.
Chad Sedio 0 for 2 tonight. Takes strike one. Bottom of the fifth, 2-1 Lexington. Sedio a strikeout and a pop up to foul territory that was caught in left field. The 0-1. Catches the outer black at 91 miles an hour for strike two. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom 5. Sedio at the dish as the rain begins to come down harder. And he lines this one on the ground to the left side, and it gets underneath the glove of, I believe that was John Sansone playing down there. The infield had shifted over to the right. And that's a hit.
No doubt about it. They had the Sedio shift on there. Excuse me. He did a good job beating it. Hit the ground ball down the third base line. Sansone way of first base. Sedio likely beats it out anyway.
Logan Wyatt 0 for 2. Check over to first, not in time. Two away, bottom of the fifth. Tying run on first. Pitch to Wyatt. Left up.
Logan Wyatt is going to make his mark at some point. You just feel it. He's had the quiet start, but he's got power for days. And he hasn't had that big moment in the box yet, but you know it's coming.
Pitch home, and it swings over the top of a ball that went under his hands. It probably would have been ball 2, but instead the count's even.
Yeah, the back foot breaking ball ate him up there, which will probably be the one thing that Dennis is wanting to work on the most with Wyatt, who likely would have started this season in a normal circumstance with Dennis in Advanced A San Jose. Got to lay off those breaking balls in the turf.
Wyatt's 0 for 2, but a base knock here could change things dramatically. Pulls the string and swings over the top of that one as well, and it's 1-2.
He doesn't get many fastballs, but until he can do some damage on an off-speed pitch or two, he's likely not going to see one. He got the back foot breaking ball on the previous pitch. This one was the changeup. Let's see what he comes with here.
On the 1-2, there goes the runner to second base, but a foul ball will send Cedillo back. After Cedillo's single, he will jog on back to first, trying to swipe a bag.
I've been impressed with the crowd tonight, hanging around through the rain. A lot of them are over underneath the cover of the Maker's Mark party patio, but not many hitting the exits with the inclement weather.
Check on over to first. The other thing, too, was this rain started coming down pretty early on in the game. So it would have been a shame for those who paid to come to leave as early as the rain started. I'm sure most of the fans that came knew the threat of rain was impending for tonight. Play through the elements. They're doing it. Going to second, but it doesn't matter. A swing and a miss on a pitch across the chest of Logan Wyatt. He's down on strikes for the second time tonight. Second swinging strikeout, too. So now we go to the sixth. The Florence Freedom do push across a run, their first run of the evening, but it's 2-1 Lexington in front as the Legends look for their first win in Florence this season. After 5, it's 2-1 Lexington on the Florence Freedom Broadcasting Network.
Who did the Florence Freedom turn to when it was time to upgrade their scoreboard? Atlantic Sign Company. Through their branding expertise, innovation, and passion, Atlantic Sign Company will help you identify your business to your customers in a way that will exceed your expectations. From concept to the completion, their team will be with you every step of the way. Your sign represents you, your company, and your brand. So go where the Florence Freedom went for their scoreboard. Atlantic Sign Company.
Florence Freedom fans, Walt Kelsey here for Kelsey Chevrolet on Route 50 in Lawrenceburg, proud sponsor of your Florence Freedom. We're just 15 minutes from Florence. Take 275 west to the Lawrenceburg exit. We can handle all your automotive needs: sales, service, parts, and body shop. We are family owned and operated, and we offer a fresh approach. We'll treat you like family. Find new roads at kelseychev.com.
We are Kelsey Chevrolet, from our family to yours.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hobart, president of Dick's Sporting Goods. I know personally how important sports are to our kids. That's why we've been working hard to make it easier for them to play. I invite you to come into our stores or shop us online. You won't believe all the changes that we've made at Dick's. We have more baseball and softball gear than ever before, an incredible selection of top running shoes, and we've got the hottest clubs in golf like the Callaway Epic Flash and TaylorMade M5 and M6. Stop into Dick's today to see all of the great changes we've made.
Head on now into the 6th inning. A new pitcher on the mound. Yannick Villalobos' day is done. Edgar Martinez takes over. And in for the play-by-play, it's my partner, Aaron Brody.
Well, thank you, Paul. It will be Edgar Martinez to toe the rubber here in the top of the 6th inning, taking over for Yannick Villalobos, who finished his night tonight, having spanned 5 innings, allowing 5 hits, 2 runs, both are in a 2-1 game. The Legends lead, top 6. Martinez out of the Dominican Republic, 6'1", 170 pounds, and former property of the Miami Marlins organization. 1-0 pitch, too far in for ball 2. Edgar enters 0-2 on the season with an ERA at 5.92, but he is far better than the numbers would indicate. Rain really starting to come down now as Cornette takes a good swing, hits a line drive down the line and right that had home run distance but was foul for the first strike. Martinez might have the nastiest elimination pitch of any arm in the Freedom or Y'all's bullpen. His changeup is major league caliber. Comes out of the same arm slot as the fastball, looks like the fastball every step of the way, except for the fact it's slower and devastating. Look for him to use that in 2 strike counts. The 2-1 pitch, there goes the bat. Look out in the Florence Freedom dugout. Mike Morris had to hit the deck. That's one byproduct of a rain-soaked evening in Florence, Kentucky. That bat can be a little bit harder to keep your hands on. The netting did not catch that one much either. It was low enough on its trajectory that it just sailed right in to that Freedom dugout. Luckily, those guys are all on the railing and paying attention and able to take cover. The count now 2-2. We'll see if Edgar shows that changeup to start the frame here. Couple of shakes. Now a nod. Rocks into the windup. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back. Went with the fastball at 89. Cornette able to spoil it. 6th appearance for Martinez. He's made 1 start. 15 2/3 innings under his belt. Now the 2-2. Down and in. A full count. And absolutely no fun to come into the game and take over with this kind of a driving rain. You want to talk about tough grips. Good luck with the baseball in this. Payoff on the way. Inside pitch, swung on, hit high and hard, deep right field, but this one is going to push well foul. And bouncing on to Freedom Way as Cornette's put a couple of good swings on Martinez in this at bat, but was out in front in each instance.
Rain letting loose now.
Pitch on the way, pop fly into more moderately deep left center field. Cesar Trejo looking right into the rain, makes the catch on the in-trot once he got to the spot in the power alley. And there's one away.
That was tough because you could see him take a weird angle to the ball. Started to go back towards the wall, realized where the ball was, and had to cut parallel with the wall over to his left to make that catch. Just trying to block out the rain and do what he could.
And looked all the world like Cornette was fooled on the pitch. I was surprised it went as far as it did. First pitch to John Sansone, outside. It'll be 1-0. Over the head, wind up, and the 1-0 is fouled straight back.
Well, Aaron, you have a little more experience with the rain like this than I do. Would you expect him to keep playing if it stays like it is right here?
Yeah, I think as long as it's rain, no lightning, we're going to keep playing. 1-1. It's outside. 2 balls and a strike. There is that certain point where it's just coming down too hard to continue playing as Nick Saxton takes a trip in front of home plate and warns both dugouts. We heard Dennis Pelfrey giving him a little bit of chatter earlier in the game about his strike zone, and likely Lexington doing the same thing now. 2-1. Good breaking ball, but it was south of the zone. And now it's 3 balls and 1 strike to Sansone. 0 for 2 tonight. A strikeout and a fly out to left. Martinez is 3-1, is too far inside. It's a 5-pitch walk. There'll be a man at first base and 1 out for Nick King. Martinez now from the stretch, ready to hit the belt. And the first pitch upstairs. Score is 2-1, Legends in front. Still in the top of the 6th inning. 1 out and a man at first. Pitch on the way. It was a 58-footer that bounces all the way to the backstop and will be an easy 90 feet for Sansone, who's now up standing at second as the count falls to 2-0 on King. Somehow raindrops managing to fall into the press box here. Is your scorebook getting dampened?
Not yet. I'm trying to be a human shield here.
2-0, good fastball, swung on and missed. Maybe I'm just spitting when I talk.
Talk less.
Surely I don't spit this much.
No. I mean, maybe.
There's a chance. 2-1, breaking ball fouled back to the screen. 2 strikes from Martinez after falling behind 2-0. He's worked it even.
Oh, boy. We've had some fun this year.
We really have.
It's been a good battle of the Bourbon Trail.
One to remember. This will go down in the history books. Kentucky pro baseball lore. 2-2. Half-hearted swing and a miss. Martinez strikes him out. And there's 2 away.
And it could have been the Commonwealth Classic.
What could have been, Paul? What could have been?
Now the temperature has cooled dramatically. Wind is blowing and the rain is still coming down in the forecast for the next couple hours. So if they're playing through this is what they play through for the rest of the game.
Checking on the runner at second, Marshall Rich pulled the trigger. But back in there safely with a headfirst dive was Sansone. First pitch missed down and away to the new hitter Peter Bacchino, who's got a 1-0 start.
I like that even with 2 outs. Try to be aggressive. Let the runner know you're still thinking about him.
Shown an element of fearlessness with the wet baseball to go ahead and make that throw to second. It was on the money, the 1-0. Gets past him and rolls to the backstop. 90 more feet for Sansone, who reached on a walk and is now standing at third by virtue of 2 wild pitches in the inning for Edgar Martinez. The Freedom clawing back to make it a 1-run game in the bottom of the 5th. That 5th frame, the only inning in which either team has scored a run tonight. The Legends scored 2, the Freedom 1. 2-run shot from Akins, the difference in this game. 2-0 pitch to Bacchino. Fastball's way outside.
Down to that same spot, blowing away with a couple of pitches.
First base open here. I don't know that you don't just now decide to intentionally walk Bacchino. Called strike on the inner half. Bacchino thought that's what happened. Dropped the bat, took 3 steps to first base, and now has the awkward walk back to the batter's box. Or an umpire who's already a little bit edgy might just decide to expand his zone a bit.
Call them all a strike. You get it over and the catcher makes the play.
3-1. Hard ground ball to third base, but right at Cedillo. He fields, fires low to first, but Logan Wyatt digs it out of the turf. And Edgar Martinez dances out of harm's way in inning number 6, keeps the score right here at 2-1. Freedom up to the plate, bottom 6 when we come back to UC Health Stadium on the Freedom Broadcasting Network.
Mount St. Joseph University, we inspire students to think beyond the classroom and redraw the bounds of what's possible for their future. Students are prepared for what it takes to succeed in their careers and in life. Nearly 99% of those who earn a degree from the Mount are employed, going to grad school, or volunteering within 6 months of graduating. This reflects the career certainty that comes from an education at the Mount. Connect with us today by visiting msj.edu.
BRG is locally owned and operated, so we take pride in our community you choose to call home. With spacious floor plans, neighborhoods that complement your lifestyle, pet-friendly communities, 24-hour emergency maintenance, the amenities are endless. Come home to BRG Apartments. With communities located in Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio, as well as in northern Kentucky, we have something for everyone. Finding your new home is as easy as BRG.
Substation 2 has been bringing Florence the freshest food at the lowest prices since 1981. You've tried the rest, now come taste the best fresh sliced sub sandwiches anywhere. Substation 2 was voted the best sub sandwich in Northern Kentucky by Northern Kentucky Magazine in 2016. Let Substation cater your next event. Give us a call at 859-371-9490 or come visit us at 7905 Dream Street in Florence. Substation 2, quality at a price you can afford.
Yeah, if they're still playing now, I'd assume they just keep playing because the rain has been coming sideways for the last.
Crazy to think that's actually the reality for a lot of minor league baseball players this season, that they're just sitting at home, not playing baseball, something they played, been the best at in high school and in college their entire life, playing the game. Now it's summer off.
Yeah.
This is odd. 1-2. Swung on, tattoo, deep left field. See you later. Tyler Fitzgerald will tuck it out. And the Freedom tie up the game at 2.
There was no doubt about that one. Ripped off the bat, barreled it up, got out in front, threw the hips at the baseball, made Roxby pay.
Absolute linea. Third blast of the season for Fitzgerald. Timely knock. Now 2-2. Breaking balls upstairs to A.J. Bumpus. Nobody ahead 1-0. 1 for 2 on the night for the single and the fly out.
This game now exactly 2 hours old at 9:05 local time. 2 runs on 6 hits for Florence, 2 on 5 for Lexington. About as even as you could be here tonight.
Upstairs, Rocky thought it was there. 2 balls, no strikes. I can say it's been a good one now.
Oh, yeah.
Recently had that discussion.
It is really coming down now. And now the record doesn't really matter in these games, but the score is tied, so you can't just end the game. Well, the good thing about that and the smart base running from Bumpus was when the ball was hit to right field, Trejo hit it hard enough that Bumpus started to slow up as he went to round second base. Nick King was looking at Bumpus going into second, and as soon as King put his head down to field the ball, Bumpus revved up again, rounded second, and headed for third. Deked him out. Oh, come on. Yeah, it is a player safety issue, so I don't want to. But if you score a run, you can. You can see the Florence coaching staff loves it. They want to keep playing. Chess match here. I don't know how long they would like to wait on a delay if it does go to a delay. I would assume now, if the inning was to end, they'd go to a delay. But I don't know how long you want to wait. The rain's in the forecast for the next hour and a half or so. Could do that as well. And credit to some of these fans for hanging on here.
2 balls, no strikes to Marshall Rich. The 2-0. Skips away. Here comes Bumpus. There's no play at the plate. He dives in head first. And the Freedom have a 3-2 lead. The wet baseball wreaking havoc. Roxby lost the release point. Took a skip. And Cornett couldn't keep it in front. And now it's the Freedom by 1 and still swinging with a man at third base and a 3-0 count on Marshall Rich. The 3-0. It's in there. 3-1. Rain, still a driving rain here at UC Health Stadium, and Braxton Roxby gathers the infield in. Nick Saxton will join the discussion. And it looks like Braxton is making his case as to why we should go into a delay. Pointing out a soft spot on the mound, perhaps, as Dave Blanchett now slowly approaches the discussion. So we'll bring you into the broadcast booth here. The Freedom just taking their first lead of the night, 3 to bring in that third base dugout.
Yeah, and it would be a bit of a shame here for Lexington if right after you give up the wild pitch to be pulled off in a delay. But such is life as the game goes along. A home plate umpire has the call on whether to delay, and now we'll see some mound work being done, maybe to try and get rid of that soft spot.
Yeah, the guy in the red shirt, Joe Manko, he's our operations guy here, dumping some fresh dirt, it appears, on that turf mound. And then this guy standing next to him in the black pullover, making his way back to the Freedom first base dugout, the great Jonathan Tripp, who helped Joe carry the dirt out. And now after heading back towards the dugout, turns around, and maybe the 2-time All-Star closer, who also is a tremendous starting pitcher, will get his hands dirty here. Looks like David Huelbaum brings out a broom for him. Tripp knows all about that mound and the issues it can create.
He's a pro.
He pulled up a little bit gimpy earlier this season on that mound, so he knows what to look for and how to get it playable. But not a rain delay per se, but some work being done on the mound as we wait, getting back to the action here in the bottom of the 6th. But let's talk a little baseball. A 2-run inning for the Freedom. It's almost like they're playing with their food a little bit. Sluggish to the start, 4 scoreless innings, but then the Legends take the 2-0 lead. They got some momentum in that dugout. Then they start chipping away. Here come the Freedom. 1 run in the 5th inning, make it a 1-run game. Their very next at bat, a crooked number 2. They have their first lead. It's almost like sometimes they just have to be woken up by the opposition, and then they bring it.
And sometimes in baseball, you just feel like a team when they're hot, and they're just going to find a way. And even when Lexington went up 2-0, you just felt like somehow Florence will find a way here, and sure enough, it's 3-2 Florence here in the 6th inning.
Roxby now starting to throw some warm-up tosses after the mound work. It almost feels a little bit silly to see him dumping dirt on there with it being a turf surface all around, but if it is wet, that'll dry it up. No question about it. Roxby obviously didn't like the way the mound was playing. I actually appreciate the umpires letting the guys play. Obviously, we sound as biased as anybody possibly could right now as it's beginning the Freedom take the lead, but it's a Friday night. It's a fireworks Friday. You don't want to have to weather a long delay. If you can just play through some rain, no lightning, and the guys aren't forced to play and risk injury, why not just have a wet game?
Yep. And they're going to try and play here. They will not delay as of right now. They're going to try and play.
Marshall Rich making his way back to the plate. He has a 3-1 count on Roxby. Just a reminder for anybody out there that might not be aware. If we do have a rain delay at UC Health Stadium, don't go too far. We've got game report episodes that we will play to keep you entertained during any sort of break in the action we might have tonight. 3-1 pitch to Marshall Rich, fouled straight back.
And suddenly, this is a big spot because with a runner on third, Marshall Rich, your 9-hitter at the plate. And this is an insurance run standing 90 feet away that if somehow Lexington gets out of this inning, we could have a big spot. But now there's a discussion from the Florence dugout. They need baseballs.
They need baseballs, maybe a towel. It's a full count. The 9-hole hitter for the Freedom, Marshall Rich. Cesar Trejo standing at third base, singled in the inning. Payoff on the way. A tapper towards first, but foul. David Heilbrunn pleading no contest, gave it a paltry little extension of the bare hand. Let it bounce into the first row of seats for a souvenir, and I believe that's the gentleman who sang the national anthem who gets a baseball to take home. Oh, but he gave it to a young fan instead. What a guy. Another 3-2. Got under it. Fly ball could be deep enough to do the job. However, it's in left center field. Trejo ready to tag. Akins makes the catch in the rain, and they'll relay towards second. It's a 4-2 Freedom lead, courtesy of 3-spot in this bottom of the 6th. Sacrifice fly, the second out of the inning. And back to the top now, and Craig Massey, who doubled his last time up. First pitch to Craig. Up and in. The 1-0 now. Takes a bounce, gets to the backstop, but nobody on. So no harm, no foul. 2 balls and no strikes to the Freedom DH. Told you earlier in the broadcast we'd have some fun going through the Florence Freedom batting orders. We'll do that after this 2-0 pitch if it does not end the inning. 2-0 above the belt for ball 3. So we call this Freedom batting order a murderer's row. Here's why. Entering play tonight, Massey at 464. Cesar Trejo, who just scored at 344. Chad Sedio, 369. A.J. Bumpus, 367. 323 for Johnny Knight the 4th. 364 for E.P. Reese. Fastball is called a strike. It's 3-1. Oh, I missed Brian Danzero. How could I? 366. So essentially, whoever you're facing is hitting well above 300.
Yep.
It's 3-1 to Massey. Ground ball to short. Fielded on a backhand. Now out of the webbing of the mitt for Hairston, and that'll cost him. Massey threw the base at first on the E6. And the bottom of the 6th will continue as Simon Whiteman will get a shot to face Roxby. Whiteman has reached on a pair of walks, is 0 for 1, but that one out, a productive one as they picked to first base. Close play over there. But back in safely was Massey with his dive. Whiteman an RBI bounce out to short to make it a 1-run game in the 5th. Roxby will pick to first again. And they're going to say Massey's out this time.
Wow.
Looked less close than the one before it. But Massey will be out number 3 at first base. And that will bring the 6th inning to a close. Craig getting his money's worth with Dave Blanchett. So Dennis will race out there to break it up. We'll send it to break as we go to the 7th. Freedom in front 4-2 on the Freedom Broadcasting Network.
At Mount St. Joseph University, we inspire students who think beyond the classroom and redraw the bounds of what's possible for their future. Students are prepared for what it takes to succeed in their careers and in life. Nearly 99% of those who earn a degree from the Mount are employed, going to grad school, or volunteering within 6 months of graduating. This reflects the career certainty that comes from an education at the Mount. Connect with us today by visiting msj.edu.
BRG is locally owned and operated, so we take pride in our community you choose to call home. With spacious floor plans, neighborhoods that complement your lifestyle, pet-friendly communities, 24-hour emergency maintenance, the amenities are endless. Come home to BRG Apartments. With communities located in Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio, as well as in northern Kentucky, we have something for everyone. Finding your new home is as easy as BRG.
Substation 2 has been bringing Florence the freshest food at the lowest prices since 1981. You've tried the rest, now come taste the best fresh sliced sub sandwiches anywhere. Substation 2 was voted the best sub sandwich in Northern Kentucky. 71-9490, or come visit us at 7905 Dream Street in Florence. Substation 2, quality at a price you can afford.
Edgar Martinez will hang in there. Rain continues to fall at UC Hell Stadium. We go to the top of the 7th. But a brand new game. The Freedom have scored 4 runs in their last 2 at-bats, and they lead by 2, 4-2 over these Lexington Legends. Hairston, Young, and DeJesus due up as a first pitch fastball crosses for a called strike 1 to the 9-hole man, Devin Hairston. Aaron Brody and Paul Fritchner with you on a soggy night in Florence, Kentucky. The 0-1. Outside edge and a called second strike. Martinez taking over for Yoniker Villalobos after 5 strong innings of work tonight. The 0-2. That's a touch outside. Tough night for Hairston. He is trying to guard against the hat trick of strikeouts. Martinez deals. Down and away. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'll take care of that.
Dennis Pelfrey mic'd up with us in that Freedom first base dugout.
There's no dirt.
2-2. Down and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Craig Massey, the DH, so it's Craig and Dennis having a discussion after that mildly controversial 3rd out at first base on the pickoff. Did not look all that close. Massey was back, it appeared. Spraying a fastball foul to stay alive is Devin Hairston, who has fought back to make it a full count, using his legs to wipe the moisture off the barrel of the bat before he digs back in that right-handed box.
Yeah, I went back and watched the replay of that pickoff at first. It's close.
Is it close?
I won't say it's conclusive, but
3-2, back up the box, but snagged by Martinez on a hop. He'll trot towards first and underhand it to Logan Wyatt to complete the 1-3 putout of Hairston.
I was more on the side of saying it's close, but I'd lean to you to say I think he got that hand in there, but our opinion not relevant to what's down on the field.
Another conference between the umpire crew, Nick Saxton and Dave Blanchett. And it looks like I just saw Nick give the universal wave to bring the players off the field.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We'll leave Pelf mic'd up here. It's like they're going into a rain delay and Pelf wants answers.
What are we doing? What did he say? He said we're coming in. Why?
This might get dicey, I don't know.
I'm going to let it.
Hey, we don't. We can keep the balls over here. You don't have to have them in your pocket.
Much ado about nothing. We are going to play.
Yeah, you're going to have to run out there. Yeah. We can toss it.
It looked like Nick Saxton waved everybody in. The Freedom infielder started heading towards the dugout. You could hear Pelf. He was wanting answers. It sounded like it was all about the balls being wet and too wet to continue, but Pelf telling the umpire crew you can keep the balls in the dugout, and that all of a sudden changed their minds. We'll play.
This has been bizarre.
It's Eric Young. And he'll be ahead in the count 1-0.
It doesn't seem like anybody's really in charge here. It just, you know, it's the umpire's decision to make, and it's gone back and forth.
Devastating changeup. There it was. Swung on and missed by Young. His count now 1-1.
But it seems 3 times we've had an umpire's conference to decide whether to delay or not.
Fastball is on the outer black for a called second strike. And it would seem funny almost to pull the guys off the field now. It's still raining, but it's not raining nearly as hard as it was a half inning ago. Breaking balls down in the turf. Marshall Rich will toss that one back in the dugout to get the towel service. And they'll throw a dry one to Edgar, who's got a 2-2 count with the leadoff man, who was 1 for 3 tonight. Here comes Martinez's 2-2. Foul tipped. EY went down and got that one. Hangs in there. Two golf towards right center field, shallow. Racing in for it's A.J. Bumpus, and staring into the rain, he'll make the grab for out number 2. Ivan DeJesus Jr. to swing the bat next. And it sounds like Pelf's asking about the resume of the guy stepping in the box. First pitch to DeJesus. We'll brush him back. It's 1-0. 1-0 on the way. Good bender. Called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to DeJesus. He's doubled once and scored a run. He's also singled and walked. He's 2 for 2. 1-1 pitch. Back to the slider. Very good pitch, but outside this time. 2 balls and a strike.
How many you got, Clayton?
The 2-1. Staying with the breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Deuce is all over the board. Top 7, 4-2, Freedom in front. Nobody on and 2 outs. Pitch on the way. Called strike 3 on the outside black. After 72, 72, and 72, 89 looks like 99. And it froze DeJesus in the box. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Freedom in front by a pair on the Freedom Broadcasting Network.
At Gentle Touch Grooming, your pet is treated with care and will look beautiful. Give your dog or cat the spa day they need. Gentle Touch offers spa baths, deluxe spa baths, full haircuts, and nail trimmings. Book an appointment today at 859-283-1373. That's 859-283-1373. Gentle Touch will even offer 10% off just for mentioning this ad. They want to see those waggling tails soon at Gentle Touch Grooming.
Can't carry a bowling ball in a plastic bag. Can't rub plastic bags together to make fire. Can't turn them into swim trunks. And you can't put plastic bags in your Rumpke recycling container. Visit Rumpke.com for recycling do's and don'ts. Learn more at Rumpke.com.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
Chris Collinsworth here. Western and Southern can help you translate your financial needs. Start with a free, no-obligation insurance checkup. It doesn't take long, and it's a great way to find out how to protect your family's future. Talk to a financial translator today.
Call our Northern Kentucky office at 859-426-3300. That's 859-426-3300 for your free, no-obligation review.
Compensated endorser, Western and Southern Financial Group, Cincinnati, Ohio, R5-1307.
The bottom of the 7th, a new arm taking over for the Lexington Legends. It'll be the left-hander Cam Hatch, who's 6'2", 212 pounds, out of Vernon, Connecticut, in the University of Maryland. It's Aaron Brody and Paul Fritchner with you. Freedom in front, 4-2, taking their first lead of the night and their last at bat in the bottom of the 6th, the 3 spot. Made it a 2-run game. It was the Legends who scored first on another home run from Nick Akins, who has driven in the last 9 runs the Legends have scored, spanning 2 different games. But the Freedom fought back to pull within 1 in the very next half inning after the long ball from Akins, and then 3 in their last at bat to quickly take the 2-run advantage. Edgar Martinez settled into form in a quick moving top half of the 7th.
All the arms can wear spikes.
And so we go to the bottom half with Simon Whiteman, Chad Sedio, and
you know what I mean? All right, thank you.
Hatch always from the stretch and on the first base side of the rubber. Takes the deep breath, and his first pitch at the bottom of the 7th is downstairs. For ball 1 to Whiteman. It was Whiteman in the box when the 3rd out was recorded in the 6th. Craig Massey picked off first base to end the frame.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
The 1-0 now.
It's a
Up and out.
circus show, baby. Yeah.
2 balls and no strikes to the 2-hole hitter. Second consecutive inning in which Whiteman has registered a plate appearance, or at least started an at bat. Fastball's up. It's 3-0. In fact, it's actually 3 straight if you count him standing in there before Massey got picked off. He had the run-scoring ground out in the 5th, was at the plate when the 3rd out was recorded in the 6th. As a fastball will cross to make it 3-1, and now leads off the 7th. You don't see that too often. The 3-1. Down and away, a bit wild. And that'll be another walk for Whiteman, who has worked 3 of them now tonight. Chad Sedio strolls to the plate. 1 for 3 with a single. Hatch will pick to first, but nothing doing there. Whiteman back without a slide.
Turned into kind of a weird, bizarre plays and a wild pitch, the pickoff.
Good breaking ball to Sedio. We'll start him 0-1. But you're right, it's been a little bit erratic. You can hear Pelf on the live mic calling it a bit of a circus show. Breaking balls down and away. A ball and a strike to the feared lefty who leads the Battle of the Bourbon Trail in homers with 10. 1-1. A late swing, and a rare one at that from Sedio. They'll fall behind 1 and 2. If not for Chad's 5th inning single, he would still have as many homers as singles on the season. Here's a hard ground ball back up the middle and through into center field. Now he's just pulling away. 12 singles on the season for Sedio. 2 in as many at bats, and runners are at first and second for Logan Wyatt. Not quite to the point of wagging my pen in the camera, Paul, but I have been on record saying Wyatt's going to have that breakout at bat. In a 4-2 game with 2 guys on, this would still qualify.
It's exhilarating to give a take like that.
And then to see the next 3 innings go hitless.
Oh, yeah. There was no doubt in my mind that Florence was going to get no hit last night as soon as I said that.
Tempting upstairs fastball and a late strike call from Nick Saxton.
We went to break in the 3rd inning, and I said, there is no chance that Florence gets a hit tonight. They ended up putting up 8 runs.
The 0-1 lost the release point, almost sailed to the backstop, but a leaping play behind the plate by Dalton Cornett to save a precious 90 feet. In a 2-run game, that's a very underrated play made defensively by that catcher. Some new dry baseballs will be rushed out to the home plate umpire, and Dalton Cornett will capitalize on the quick break to have a quick word with Cam Hatch here in inning number 7. It's still astonishing to me the run totals they can produce, even with spotting the opposition 4 scoreless frames to start the game. Here's a swing and a lazy fly down the line and left that'll twist foul and out of play. Four zeros, and the opposition might be thinking, all right, we got them down tonight. This will be manageable. And the Freedom specialize in still hanging a 10 spot by the end of the game, and they do it with just relentless approaches offensively, attacking in consecutive innings, breaking balls down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is now the 3rd straight frame where at least 2 men reached. And the 2nd consecutive in which that happened with nobody out. Fastball's fouled back. 2-2, the count on Wyatt, who has struck out twice and grounded in to a 3-1 putout. Hatch delivers, and K's Wyatt looking. Breaking ball was there on the outside corner. No argument from the batter. Fooled on the pitch, and it's a hat trick for Wyatt. And the first out in the bottom of the 7th.
Some of these fans might be waiting around for Fireworks Friday, which is still on as of right now.
Good amount hanging around through relentless rains.
And this rain is blowing sideways.
Pack your poncho night, UC Health Stadium. Breaking balls down and in to start. Tyler Fitzgerald 1-0.
See a couple of Northern Kentucky blue ponchos down there.
Yeah, the fans that are remaining, essentially all wearing ponchos. They packed knowing they were going to weather the storm. Fastball's above the belt. Fitzgerald ahead 2-0. And credit this guy for sparking the Freedom in their pursuit to take this 2-run lead. His solo shot in the 6th tied the game at 2. And the Freedom got hot instantly after it. 2-0. Make it 2-1. 2-1 to Tyler Fitzgerald. Hatch calmly sets at the belt, and the 2-1. Grounded foul. An even 2-2 count.
608 loyal souls in attendance here tonight. 10 shy.
3 was pretty solid. We'll see. A 2-2. Nearly got the pant leg. And inside for ball 3. Now you're tempting me to have all my friends show up in a clown car. High fly ball disappearing into the night sky in left center field, but it will stay on the field of play. Nick Akins battled the rain and the wind, and the ball falls behind him. Everybody will have to move up. The indecision will allow 1 run to score, As Simon Whiteman crosses home with the feet first slide, but Setio and Fitzgerald at first and second as they got a late start.
It looked like that ball went off the end of his glove. There's no way we're going to be able to see the replay here.
If he didn't touch it, it's a hit. If he did, it's an error.
Looked to me like it was an error. Because it looks like the ball deflects off of his glove and goes behind him. So I'm going to say that's an error.
Yeah, that's a play that's got to be made anyway. He got to the spot. With the hard falling rain at UC Health Stadium, may have gotten his eye at the last second. Mere speculation.
What are we doing?
And are we having the guys pulled off the field again?
We're done? The game's over?
Nick Saxton
well,
and
no,
Dennis Pelfrey.
Now, the game's over.
And this is what you were talking. Okay, so the game will not be over, but we will go into a rain delay. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning as one more run scores for the Freedom on the high fly ball into left center field.
Because their guy can't catch a fly ball, he couldn't catch it in regular weather. Like,
so we will queue up a past episode of the game report as we go into a rain delay and hope to wait it out. 5-2, the Freedom in front.
no,
a weird
they're
night.
saying because the guy can't catch the fly ball.
A weird game here in these last 4 innings, and finally it appears we will go into a delay. Dave Blanchett and Nick Saxton still having a discussion. Keith Stewart, the clubhouse manager for the Freedom, out with the radar pulled up on his phone, and I'm not sold that we'll end up having much of a delay, Paul. I'm thinking this game will ultimately end up being called, but.
Well, again, going back to what I was talking about before with the indecision, this is the same rain that we've been playing through for the last 40 minutes. So maybe the field has gotten increasingly wet. That could be. Or slippery.
Yeah, 100%. He'll miss it in regular week.
Lexington, it looks like they're under the impression that it's over. A couple of their players are walking off the field.
Yeah, this is odd. Lexington's heading towards the exits.
You're not going to wait around? I'm trying to figure it out. What are we doing?
Everybody's still a little bit curious as to. And you called it the lack of control. Now Dennis just asking the umpires to take control of the situation here.
But you guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys want to. You know me, baby. I'm going to play. I don't care. I'll play through anything. Both ways. Like, oh, yeah, and we weren't, what was the... We're going to give it 10, see if it slows down. Tell PJ 10 minutes? Unless you guys want to quit. I mean, I don't know.
So it looks like it's going to be a delay.
Yep, of a 10-minute variety. So Nick Saxton making the decision that we will go into a rain delay for 10 minutes to see if it clears up, and then at that point, if it hasn't, do they call it? Do we just add 10 more minutes? These are all the questions we're all wondering. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and queue up the most recent episode of the game report, episode 3, to play us out as we enter a rain delay at UC Health Stadium. When we do either return to the action or have a more definitive decision as to whether or not this game will be played at all, we will come back on the air and keep you apprised of the situation. But until then, enjoy episode 3 of the game report with Dennis Pelfrey, Brian White, and Chad Rhodes.
Here we go. We clap again. Now you start it again? Double clap.
Wait a couple seconds after the clap to start.
1, 2, 3.
Hey guys, this is Brian White, and this is the 3rd episode of the Florence.
A couple seconds after I clap. That's right after I clapped.
So now it's like, and then go, or it's like, go.
Two Mississippi after the clap.
Give him a 1, 2.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a 1.
You know what?
2.
I want you to get this one.
No.
I want you to get this one.
No. You're in the middle. This is your nation now. You ready? We're going to clap one more time. Watch Brody's going to give you the point.
Yeah, ready? That's a good idea.
Hey Freedom Nation, this is Brian White. This is the third episode of the Game Report. To my right I have Dennis Pelfrey, manager of the Florence Freedom. To my left I have Chad Rhodes, pitching coordinator. I'm going to let Chad take over real quick, talk about our pitching this past week, let them know the details on what's kind of going on behind the scenes.
Well, behind the scenes of what was the record? Both teams over the course of the week?
The Florence Freedom were 6-0.
6-0 plus. Let's go 6 plus.
I didn't call it.
3-2.
3-2. 9-2.
So 9-2.
9-2 on the week. We had some good performances, which some guys want to talk about. There's a couple good starts that we had. With Clayton and Hahn. Jackson Owens had a good start yesterday.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of the Game Report. The intro, anyway. A decision has been made here at UC Health Stadium to go ahead and call this one as it stands. So it will go down as a 4-2 Florence Freedom victory. A wacky night at the ballpark that was rain-soaked all evening long, but ultimately, Paul, the decision made to pull the plug, and it goes down a 2-run victory for the home team.
And now some discussion on the field after the game. Uh-oh.
Oh, tempers flaring. Looks like it's the hitting coordinator, Mike Morris, who is the most heated. Not sure who it is that insulted him for the Lexington Legends, but this will ultimately subside. Much ado about nothing. Tempers flaring. One team maybe wanting to quit. The other team maybe wanting to play. Words exchanged. We've seen it before, but we'll continue on, do our thing as we segue into a victorious post-game show. Just your thoughts on the weird night that's getting a little bit weirder right in front of us.
I mean, again, I just don't think you can allow this to happen. Yes, the standings might not matter. Yes, this is all developmental, whatever the case may be, but you can't allow this kind of a situation to boil up like this if you're the umpires. The indecision over the last 2 innings is what has led to this. You got to have command of a game, and you can still see Florence fired up down there. And now the players are walking back into their dugouts. Again, are we playing or not? That's the discussion. And I just don't understand why this decision couldn't have been made with some force behind it 2 innings ago. They had 3 different discussions on the mound, the 2 umpires did. Twice they said, let's pull everybody off, and then they went back out and played. That's going to frustrate everybody. Florence wants to play. Lexington traveling up here. They have to go back home and then come back here tomorrow. So losing 5-2, maybe they want to leave. I don't know. I don't know if they were given an option to leave or not, but they're going to head for the exit. So it looks like this game officially is done. And I don't imagine that it will resume, which means Florence just goes ahead and gets the win. Lexington, another loss here in Florence. This game is over from the looks of it, but I just don't think you can allow that to happen the way it did. You got to come out. You got to make a decision. It's been raining very hard for the last 2 innings, and it hasn't changed. It's been raining this hard. It's 9:52 right now. It's been raining as hard as it has right now since about 9:15-ish. So nothing's really changed except maybe the field conditions, but this is turf. So unless some spots have gotten more slick than others, field conditions aren't really changing. I just don't think that was handled in the best way that it could have. And because there is indecision by the crew in charge of the game, it leads to some tempers flaring on both sides when you let those things get out of control. But like you said, it's water under the bridge at this point. Hopefully everything can dissipate and the guys can get their emotions in check and just come back tomorrow and play. But you just hate to see something like this.
Yeah, you do. And it was, for the most part, a really competitive game tonight, a fun game even until the driving rain started and everything started to get a little bit bizarre in the middle innings. But, I mean, still you got to tip your cap to the Freedom in a game that they did trail. They did get shut down their first 4 at-bats facing the righty Cass Sober tonight, who had a good line. exited after 4 strong innings of 3-hit baseball, did not allow a run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. You're going to take that kind of an outing against this Freedom club, but even after the big blast from Nick Akins and the momentum being in the third base dugout for the second time in as many nights, but with the second Florence organization, we saw a team that didn't get off to the best start get off the mat and end up stealing a victory.
Yeah, and Florence, they come out here and they win it 5-2, and they do really steal this one, I thought, because, again, Nick Akins, the only one doing anything offensively for Lexington, a 2-run homer, and I don't know. I'm still a little hung up on the way this game ended. It was tough to watch because you knew that everybody was trying to get control, but as baseball fans know, once the game starts, it's the home plate umpire's decision to make on whether the game keeps playing. Now, obviously, in a game like this, it's not at the major league level. You can have some discussion with both managers, but there was a discussion when Florence had 2 men on in a tie game, I believe it was. They decide, okay, now we're going to keep playing. Florence scores, so now Lexington wants to come up and hit. Then they go back. They have another discussion. Do we keep playing? That kind of thing just can't happen. And even though the standings don't count, you still have to treat this, as you heard Dennis Pelfrey say, he's mic'd up, you have to treat it as a professional baseball game, which it is. It is a professional game. It's not the Frontier League. It's not affiliated baseball, but it's still professional players going out here. And in a wet environment, they're risking their safety to a degree. You know, you're playing in the rain. That presents a risk, and you want to be safe about it, especially with some of these guys playing in affiliated baseball. You want to be safe and make the right decision, but you also want to keep playing in a close game. A lot of those things you have to weigh, and somebody's got to make that call.
Yeah, you even heard Dennis Pelfrey saying at one point, it's up to you to lay the hammer down. You make the decision. So we'll hope that umpires take more control in the future, but still ultimately a good opportunity for both teams to come out, continue to compete in the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. We know, we've seen it, you know, how important this is and how serious the guys do take it. I don't think there was probably all that many guys out there that didn't want to continue to play baseball tonight on both sides of the field. Ultimately, the decision was made, however, to pull everybody off, go into a rain delay for all of about 2 minutes before looking at the radar and saying, oh, yeah, it's still really bad for like the next 4 hours.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes probably won't cut it. So it is what it is, but it is a Freedom victory. 5-2, the final score. Tonight's game played in, about 2 hours and 45 minutes. Not quite to the 3-hour mark, but not all the way through 9 innings either. Still, another win in the column for the Florence Freedom. They'll improve to 17-5 on the season. That puts them at the top of the standings that don't matter in the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. And with the loss, the Legends will fall to 6-16 on the season. So as we start to wrap up here, let's quickly talk about Yoniker Villalobos. Guy got the start tonight for the Freedom. Looked fantastic again. 5 more strong innings, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Edgar Martinez went the next couple of frames, worked into a lather in his second inning of work. More good pitching tonight, but the tone set by Yoniker Villalobos. He did give up the lead, but it was a 2-run effort in 5 innings. You'll take that every time.
Yeah, you will. And those 2 runs, just a mistake pitch to a guy that you can't make a mistake pitch to. That was something that Brian White talked about. He thought that they didn't really attack Akins last night as well as they could have, and they left those pitches up for him to hit. And he made them pay, and that's credit to Akins too, because as a pitcher, you can make that mistake pitch, but it's up to the hitter to do something with it, and Akins has done something with it over the last 2 nights.
Tyler Fitzgerald gets my vote for player of the game from the offensive perspective. It was his home run that tied the game at 2. Momentum was squarely in that third base dugout with the Legends, fresh off the 2-run shot from Nick Akins, and it was Tyler Fitzgerald who came up to lead off the bottom of the 6th in the inning where the rain really started to be a driving rain when P.J. Phillips wanted to come out and have the game canceled the first time. The big solo shot, the line drive that clanked off the second row of signage, that chain link fence out in left center, tied the game, and at that point, the Freedom woke up. It ignited the fire, and they never looked back.
Yeah, they did. And now what can they do tomorrow? Fireworks postponed tonight. I believe they said that they'll be postponed to tomorrow night. So if you're watching and want to come out to a game that will be played, just check the weather report, and it looks like a great night for baseball tomorrow night. So it's a Saturday, which means we'll have a post-game concert and fireworks on a beautiful Saturday night.
That is quite the double duo there. The Firework Friday meets the Rockin' Saturday. Will be a great night at UC Health Stadium. We obviously hope to see you here, but if not, we will be here. Aaron Brody and Paul Fritchner here in the Ted Bushelman Memorial Press Box. Always a pleasure to bring you the call of the action during the 2020 Battle of the Bourbon Trail right here on the Florence Y'alls and Florence Freedom Broadcasting Network. For Paul Fritchner, I'm Aaron Brody, signing off on a wacky Friday night in Florence. We'll see you tomorrow. First pitch is at 6:35. Our broadcast will start at 6:20. Have a fantastic rest of your wet Friday. If you're local,